laugh and my heart chokes. Like might as everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like a solid word. Yeah. Every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood. And every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me, yeah. In a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee. Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you thumbs up the stream, y'all. Hit the like button as you come into the building. Before I get to yapping, make sure you put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Before I get to talking, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me, y'all. Make sure you do that. Just before I get to talking, 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me good. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, everybody who supports the channel. I appreciate you guys. I hope all is well with y'all. Good to see y'all here. All right. Okay, good. So I see the ones in the chat. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much for putting the ones in the chat. Also, if you are new to the building and you like the content, but you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And hit that notification bell to be notified when I go live or post new content. All right. All right. So listen, we gonna hop right into the stream, you guys. Shout out to everybody in the building. I see Philip Gaines. What's going on? AL225 checking in. Benjamin in the building. Lorenzo Redmond, what's going on, Lorenzo? Shout out to you. Good to see you. Derek Roos, I hope I'm saying that right. Happy Friday. Roman Hill. Shout out to everybody. I can't pronounce all of y'all names, but shout out to y'all for being here. I appreciate you for supporting and just joining me live. All right. So listen, y'all see the title. I want to talk about some of these things that I'm seeing on social media, y'all. So as you guys see from the title, it says Chilli from TLC is being dragged, plus pastor's wife defends him over church money plus more. Oh my God. Baby. So we're gonna get into it. Make sure you are ready to leave your thoughts in the chat. Of course, y'all, like y'all usually do, leave your thoughts in the chat, comments, whatever. But also make sure you are supporting via Super Chat or Cash App. That definitely helps to support the channel. So make sure you guys are supporting, and also by liking the stream. It is free to like. So make sure you hit the like button, you guys. All right. That definitely helps the channel out as well. So make sure you are doing that. So I want to first get into this whole Chilli fiasco. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I definitely see why people say you shouldn't talk about politics and religion because people are going to drag you for it. Oh, baby, if you don't align with the side that they think you should, baby, they're going to drag you. And that is what we're seeing happening to Chilli, child. Chilli is getting dragged in the midst of them, of their iconic tour, because they have an iconic tour that is scheduled and coming up. Some were even speculating that the tour was canceled, but they're saying that the tour is not canceled. But who knows, there might be a boycott, child. Who knows? People are petitioning. Some people are petitioning to have TLC removed or suggesting, I'll say that, allegedly suggesting to have TLC removed from the tour because of Chilli's situation, child. Leave your thoughts in the chat. I want to know what y'all think about all of this because, it's just crazy to me. But I want to play what Chilli had to say. If you guys have not already seen it, definitely leave y'all thoughts. I want to hear what y'all got to say on this. Whether you care, whether you do not care, let me know. But I want to know what you think about what she said. I'm going to play what she had to say. And I want to play a video of what others had to say about her as well and kind of sums up what's happening. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this first clip up and y'all let me know what y'all think. Here we go.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button, and I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other, and clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course.
Okay, so that's just a snippet of what she had to say. And I'm sure some of y'all might be like, what the hell is going on? But I want to go ahead and play a video that basically sums up what happened with Chilli. So people are dragging her because they're saying she's an undercover MAGA supporter, right? And that she lied about it. And she reposted some things that said something, unbecoming of Michelle Obama. And then she lied about donations that she sent to the Trump administration and stuff like that. And listen, I want to give my thoughts behind that of what I think about this. And then we're going to move on to the next thing, because once again, this whole political realm is just all over the place. People are going to be mad at you if you support a certain party or if you don't, or it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to have an opinion on that. This is why they tell you back in the day, if you had to go through media training, they told you, hey, don't talk about politics. Don't talk about religion. Keep that to yourself, because that gets people nuts. People go crazy when you don't identify with what they identify with. But let's get into this video. And this kind of sums up what's going on with Chilli. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Here we go. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button. Here we go.
Another black celebrity has found themselves entangled in MAGA controversy, and this time the spotlight has landed on Razonda Chilli Thomas from the R&B group TLC. Recent revelations have caused many fans to pause and reassess how they view her, with some questioning whether she was ever truly aligned with the community that built her career. When you take a closer look at her past statements, behaviors, and patterns over the years, it becomes clear that this situation didn't appear out of nowhere. Instead, it feels like a slow build with multiple signs that may have been overlooked or dismissed at the time. Because, let's be honest, sometimes the red flags aren't hidden. They are simply ignored until a moment forces everyone to revisit them all at once. Here is everything we know about what people are calling MAGA Chilli, along with the moments that, in hindsight, may have been telling us more than we realized. If you can't stand it when we dig into other people's business, or if you lose your mind whenever we say hot, stinking mess, or if you hate it when we sing in our videos, then baby, 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 go on and see yourself out. But for the rest of y'all, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment.
And shout out to RRG. That's the channel that I post. But let's move
Clearly
on.
black family. For most people watching, that moment would have been enough to simply celebrate the reunion. However, over the years, Chilli has repeatedly emphasized that she identifies as multiracial, stating that her mother is African American and Native American, while her father is Bangladeshi and Arabic. Again, we're not here to claim that she's being dishonest about her background. However, what has raised eyebrows is the way her heritage appears to expand and evolve over time, with additional mentions of Irish, Venezuelan, and Indian ancestry entering the conversation at various points.
Chilli said, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." Okay.
While ancestry can certainly be complex, the inconsistency in how it's presented has led some to question whether the emphasis is less about accuracy and more about identity positioning.
The second one.
From a psychological perspective, identity presentation is rarely random. In industries where proximity to whiteness or perceived exoticism has historically been rewarded, there can be an unconscious or even strategic desire to distance oneself from a singular black identity.
Come on, let's talk about it now.
And because of her diverse background, according to Essence, she doesn't refer to herself as a black woman. She identifies as a mixed woman.
You know what? I bet she hate her mama named her Razonda. Because if that ain't the blackest name, you know doggone well she want to be a Rebecca or Rachel so bad. Rachel Dolezal. Y'all remember?
Have you ever lied about your race? No.
Y'all remember? You ain't forgot. Y'all remember.
In 2016, during an all-hip-hop interview, Chilli's TLC groupmate T-Boz made a statement that would later take on new meaning. While discussing the election of Donald Trump, T-Boz said,
"My group member voted for him."
Given the structure of TLC, that statement leaves very little room for interpretation. With one member no longer with us, the implication points directly to Chilli. At the time, the comment may have been brushed off or not fully examined. However, in light of everything that has surfaced since, it now feels like one of the earliest public indicators of her political alignment. As the Black Lives Matter movement gained national attention, many public figures were clear and outspoken with their support. Chilli, however, took a different approach. In 2017, during an interview with Channel 4 News, she stated that she didn't participate in marches.
Well, I didn't go into any marches or anything like that, but for me, all lives matter. You know what I mean? Because there's a time when, you know, different groups are, you know what I'm saying? So, stuff like that, and
Chilli, if you and your baby hair don't sit down somewhere and stop lying. Now, if that's not MAGA, I don't know what is. Oh, wait. And she got a black son, don't she? He black.
Now, what do you guys think about that? Because I'm not going to get too deep into this. You know, listen, essentially, basically, Chilli is being dragged in social media, and it's you know, they're putting the whole group TLC in it because of some of the statements like this that she's made, and also the fact that she has openly supported MAGA. Now, you know, she's donated several times, which in this video they talk about. She's donated to the Trump campaign numerous amounts of times. She said things like she doesn't identify with being black, you know, basic, you know, that she's, you know, mixed or whatever. And they're saying she lied about it. So she wasn't really clear. She said initially she said she didn't do any of that, and she tried to, you know, she apologized and she was like, she didn't know that she was reposting certain things that said things about Michelle Obama. And you know, her name is on a lot of the things that are associated with MAGA, and that's who she supports. You know, she supports, and there are a lot of people who do support Trump. They're not happy with what he's doing now, but there are a lot of people who have supported him and who voted for him. So it doesn't make her stand out or that different, in my opinion. She's voted and supported him just like a whole bunch of other people. But I think somebody mentioned it in the chat. The problem with this, because there was a clip, and I'm not gonna play too more of this because I don't want to get too deep into this because it's not that, I don't really care that much. But because she's being dragged and because they have a tour that they're scheduling, it may affect the tour. But the bottom line to this is people don't like the fact that she was trying to sneak around and do it, and then she lied about it. So she basically claimed and said, oh, that's not what she did. And she thought she was, you know, she was supporting certain causes, and it wasn't, you know, what you thought. And you know, it's like she pee popping and, you know, going around what she actually did. There was this clip of Tina, and I don't know if you guys are familiar. I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with Mary, right? So Mary, the gospel group. Tina from that group voted for Trump. Someone said the difference between Chilli and Tina is the fact that Tina didn't get dragged like they're dragging Chilli because Tina stood on business. Trina said, Tina said, I voted for Trump. She said, and the reason why, because he's, you know, she's Christian and there were certain values, Christian values that she believed in, and she voted because of that. But she does not agree with everything he does, and it was the lesser of the two evils in her opinion. So I think the difference why she didn't get dragged so much is because she stood on it and she said, that's basically, hey, that's my right. You know, we fought for these rights to vote the way we want to vote, and I'm gonna stand on it. This is what I believe, this is why I voted, and boom, I don't give a damn what y'all say. And she didn't get dragged like this. Oh my God. Because when you think about it, you know, you have the right to vote how you want according to what you want in a candidate. It doesn't mean the candidate is perfect. It doesn't mean that they do all things right. Of course not. But you have the right to choose who you want to vote for. And you know, it's almost like people are condemning you for that. But I think she didn't get dragged as much because she said it and she's like, now what? It's my choice, it's my right. I can't tell you who to vote for. And they didn't drag her like that. But this woman is being dragged, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I think she's getting dragged because she lied about it. And then when people found out, now it gives them something extra to drag her for. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say, yeah, I voted and boom, I have a right to, right? No, she lied about it and she backtracked and she peep hopped all around it. And then when people start seeing her name posted on these donations and all of these things, you know, now they're dragging a child. They got even songs out here. They rewrote their songs talking about MAGA and all kinds of stuff. It is hilarious. So they're dragging her in the mud. You hear me? And now people are saying they were excited about this iconic tour, which the tour has TLC, In Vogue, and Salt and Pepper. And, you know, people are excited about it, but now there are some people who are saying, hell no, they're not going to support MAGA because of Chilli, and they're not going to the concert, child. Oh my God. So once again, this is a hot mess. There was speculation about whether the tour was going to be canceled or not, but now there are reports are saying, oh, it's not really, it hasn't been canceled, you know, but people are not buying tickets, according to some, saying they will not support this tour simply because of Chilli and her choices of being a MAGA supporter. What do you guys think about that? Y'all know how I feel. I feel like you should have the right to vote the way you want to vote. I may not agree with the way you vote, but I can't make that decision. Do I think people should be canceled over who they vote for? Hell no. I think that is the stupidest thing ever, in my opinion. It shouldn't go to that extent. It's almost like you're trying to penalize people for having a right to think and vote the way they feel necessary, just because you don't agree with it. I may not agree with it, but your livelihood shouldn't be taken away because of the way you vote. It's almost like taking us back, like, oh, you got to be condemned for you. I'll give you the opportunity to be able to vote the way you want to, which people fought for that, when we didn't have rights and we couldn't vote. Now you have the rights to vote. Now who you vote for is they're really willing to cancel you and mess up your livelihood because of it. It's sort of like a control thing all over again. Like we're going to almost like we're going to allow you to vote, but if you don't vote the way I want you to, then I'm going to cancel your life and I'm going to take things away from, penalize you for it. That's the part that I don't agree with. I think that that's insane. I don't think it should go that far. But once again, people can have their opinions, and the opinions are, listen, girl, we not supporting you if you gonna be a MAGA supporter. You know what I mean? And then they're going even further to say that, based off of the things that Chilli did say about her not identifying with being Black, and and now they're talking about her choices as to who she's dating, because y'all know she's dating that guy. I forget his name, but he's the brother of let me know if y'all know. She's dating, I wish I had the picture. She's dating this actor's brother. They're both actors, if I'm not mistaken, but he's Joey Lawrence, I think. He played Joey Lawrence, but she's dating his brother, and people are saying, oh, since she's dating this white guy, then now her stance has changed, and now she don't identify as Black. She's going the other side. I don't know. People are saying all kinds of things, but I know this may affect their tour. A lot of people are saying they're not going, but I guess we'll see. The tour, I think, is scheduled for upcoming August. And I guess we'll see people. There was even some mention of a boycott. And I'm like, no, is that really necessary? Do y'all think a boycott is necessary? I'm Matthew Lawrence. Thank you, Lorenzo. I appreciate you, child. Cause I be forgetting. What's going on, Frank G Life? How are you? I don't understand it, y'all. Ezel, Kenny, thank you for the super chat. Says Trump hurts the country more than just economic policies. He blatantly is trying to roll back rights and that Blacks fought for. That's why she's getting dragged. Thank you, Ezel, Kenny. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your commentary. Yeah, I mean, look, but people. Look, the people are speaking out, and they are very loud, and they're like, hell no, we're not going to support her. They don't agree with Trump's policies, apparently. And, and they're like, but Ezel, do you think she should be dragged like that? They're talking about Nick Cannon also. They're talking about Nick Cannon. There are lots of people who voted for Trump now, and a lot of Black people, Black celebrities who actually voted for Trump. Should they cancel everybody and drag everybody? And this brought up, thank you, Ezel. I appreciate you for the super chat. Make sure you guys are supporting via super chat, you guys. That actually helps to grow the channel. Make sure you do that if you want your commentary read. Thank you, Ezel. Once again, I appreciate you. Also, they're talking about Kanye West. And, he's an open MAGA supporter, and people are trying to figure out, should they be dragging artists like Chloe Bailey and other artists who attended his concerts? Because, Kanye, this is very interesting because Chilli is being dragged for being a MAGA supporter, and Kanye is selling out shows, multiple arenas, 70,000 seaters, if I'm not mistaken. And he's an open MAGA supporter, but they're not canceling his. They're out here supporting left and right. By the way, I mean, that whole presentation that he had with the Earth, I'm like, goddamn. I've been watching that, and I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed by the presentation of his show. He had Lauryn Hill up there. Like, what? I'm like, Kanye is very, very that man knows how to put on a show, I will say. You could say, oh, he's a little cuckoo, or something is going on in his head. Something is going on, because some say he never was right after his mom passed. But you could say he got some issues, and they got bipolar issues or whatever allegedly he has going on, but he's super talented. So that whole presentation, I don't know what y'all think about it, but that whole presentation of his at his concert, man, I'm like, I ain't never seen nobody do something like that. So it was amazing to me. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, it was amazing to me, and I could see why people would want to go to the show and why people would want to support that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was amazing. I'm just saying, and I see why it sold out. Who mentioned he stood on it. Exactly. Now I agree. He stood on it. So that's what I think what's happening with Chilli is she what they would call pee-popped around it. She pussyfooted around it. She act like she didn't do it, and she's trying not to, like she's straddling the fence, as opposed to just saying, you know what, that's how I feel, and say it and keep it moving. I think people would have. I do agree that people would have accepted that more. I do think she's getting a lot of controversy because of the fact that she lied about it and she act like she didn't know what was happening. And then when you do that, and then the internet is going to go and do what they do. They're going do their research, and it wasn't hard to do. And so now they clowning her because she lied about it. I think if she had just said what it was and that's it and moved on and didn't care, people tend to accept that better. So yeah, I do agree that it's because she lied about it. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, once again, y'all know how I feel. I'm like this. Whatever your choices are your choices. I can't control how you vote, what you think. We don't all think the same. You know what I mean? Whether I agree or not, I can disagree from a distance. I could disagree from a distance. I don't feel that everybody should have to think the same and move the same. You know what I mean? I mean, I like your choices, but I can't control them. Is all I'm saying. So yeah, I think that is the difference. People, he stood on it. He didn't back down. He stood 10 toes down on it. And now people understand where he stands, and they'd have moved on. His shows are selling out. He's doing absolutely amazing. It just came out of nowhere, and I'm just like, damn, Kanye is winning, in my opinion, anyway, y'all. But anyway, listen, shout out to Kanye, shout out to Chilli, Chilli girl. She gonna mess it up. And my thing is, she gonna mess it up for the whole tour, the whole other group members, because they probably like, damn, we don't want nothing to come in between our show. We trying to make this money. They trying to make that money. That's a big tour. So, and that's big money for them, and big money they got to pay out. So when you create these shows and these tours, this is, they put a lot of money into this, and they don't want to lose it. So that's why when people were saying that it was canceled, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of people you got to pay, even when it's canceled, because you have to pay for these venues ahead of time. You have to pay for this stuff. So you would, this money y'all would be losing. And I don't think it would be good for any of them. And I'm pretty sure Salt and Pepper and En Vogue would be unhappy, and TLC would be unhappy with this show being canceled, because that's a lot of money that potentially they could make. And I don't think they want anything to come in between that. So Chilli better get the continuously apologizing and getting it together, because I think it's a good show, a good lineup, but it might be, it might be compromised because of her supporting Donald Trump, which honestly, I just think that's crazy. I personally don't think that should come in the way of your livelihood. You should be able to live your life and go to work. People, I could see people unfollowing her or saying, nah, I don't rock with her, which means they wouldn't rock with, her career, her talent, which I think the two should be separate. I don't think you should penalize people at their jobs, because think about it. If you go on everybody's job and start do a poll of who voted for who, and because you feel a certain way and you're in control of hiring and firing. If everybody said, look, you voted this way, you gonna get fired. You gonna get fired because you voted this way. You gonna that's not the fix. That's not, no. So it's almost like she's being penalized for voting that way and then lying about it, as if she has to tell people, or has to go one way. It just doesn't make any sense at the end of the day, y'all. So if people start getting fired because of who they voted for, because somebody says, I don't like this one or that one, so if you voted for that one, you're fired, it'll be a whole lot of people fired. Oh my God. And depending on how the wind blows, where the top person stands, they could be Democrat, Republican, they could be Democrat. And if you don't vote Democrat, they get rid of you. And then when the Republican, then they could be a Republican. If they come in and you don't vote Republican, they fire you. You're like, you know what I mean? That's a slippery slope, in my opinion. I just think that would be asinine. You know what I'm saying? So look, A lot of people may not agree with her. They could unfollow her. They could dislike her personally. I don't think that should have, because it's not even just affecting her. I don't think, look, if it's your choice, listen, and I don't want to sound scatterbrainish, which I am sometimes, y'all, just to be honest. I don't want to sound scatterbrainish, but what I'm saying is, I don't think it should affect your livelihood, your work. That's her business. That's her profession. I don't think it should affect that. I think you could feel a certain way about her. Like I say, unfollow her on Instagram. Don't follow her on none of her socials, but don't bring it into where people have to work. If you just don't like the groups or the tour or whatever, you don't have to go, of course. But I wouldn't. I think people should separate that. You get what I'm saying? I think, and that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think you should separate the business from the personal, because that's personal, and she has a right to vote how she wants, whether you like it or not. I just think it almost kind of infringing upon somebody's rights. And we talk about people's rights. Why are we as a public infringing upon other people's rights to choose the way we all want the right to choose? And we fought for the right to choose, or just to be able to have the rights to choose. And then the very public are the ones who turn around and try to infringe certain rights over you, or take them away, or penalize you for them. We got to be careful with that. That's all I'm saying. We got to be careful with that. Presidential, I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I'm disturbed by how loyal we are to that god awful party, and how hard we ride for them with nothing to show for it. Presidential, when you say the god awful party, and how we ride for them with nothing to show for it, which party are you referring to? Are you referring to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? I'm thinking you saying Democrat. Are you referring to the Democratic Party? Because that's what it sounds like. How loyal we are to the god awful party, and how hard we ride for them with nothing to show for it. To me, that I would just, based on what you're saying, I would think you're saying the Democratic Party. But but thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you for being here, for supporting the channel, and for being a member. I appreciate you once again. Thank you so much for supporting. But I think you're referring to the Democratic Party. And, once again, whatever party you align with, or whether you align with none or whatever, it's your choice at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And, you would think that people would vote for, certain candidates based on what the candidate will provide, how it's going to make a difference in your life, things that you stand for. That's what you're supposed to be voting on. And once again, if you're voting for a party that has not shown any progress in the things that you believe in and stand for, and you keep just voting for them blindly, that you got to think about your own voice, your own choices, and why you're doing that. That's all I would say. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Paul Harrison, what's going on?
Oh my God.
Paul Harrison, how you been? Thank you so much for being here and for supporting the channel. I appreciate you, bro. Once again, says 2028 DeeDee for president. Hell no. No. I would not. Oh my God. It's so much that come with that. Hell to the no. I appreciate you though, but hell no. Says, let's make America honest and beautiful again. Cast your vote by hitting the like button. Hit the like button, people. Oh, hey, DeeDee. What's going on? How you been? Hope all is well with you. Shout out to you once again for supporting the channel. The number one supporter for sure. For sure. And I appreciate you and thank you for supporting the channel as much as you do. Trust me, it does not go unnoticed and unappreciated. I appreciate you. It definitely helps to support. Trust me, it does. So thank you. I can't thank you enough. And thank you so much for being here, Paul. I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, I would not want to be a president at all, child. I would make a lot of changes though. I would do all kinds of shit. They would be like, I would be trying to change all kinds of stuff. But anyway, yeah, thank you, Paul. I appreciate you. Yeah, but it's, child, it's a mess out here in these political streets. JSU Tiger 07, thank you for the super chat. Says, in my opinion, the 2024 election exposed the Democratic Party as a cult. They get pissed off whenever Black people, man or woman, thinks for themselves and vote independent or Republican. Look, we can't deny that. We can't deny that. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with that. I agree with it wholeheartally, because that's what we've seen, and we've seen it. It has been exposed. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things have been exposed. Hell, I think when Donald Trump got in office this time, it exposed a lot. It exposed a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of foolishness, and a lot more. So yeah, I agree with that. Thank you, JSU Tiger 07 for supporting the channel. I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, but once again, my thing is, look, the what am I to say? I forgot what I was about to say. We had to fight for the right to vote and to be able to vote. So I respect however people decide to vote. Even though I know there's a lot of controversy when it comes to who you vote for and Donald Trump and all of this stuff, but people have the right to vote to the way they want to. And I just think, in my little humble opinion, it's a slippery slope to start to try to challenge or control or, you know what I'm saying? Try to, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Lord, my mind go blank. To try to penalize people for voting the way they feel they want to vote. I just think that that's taking us backwards. You know what I mean? I think that's taking us backwards. Like I said, I may not agree. There's a lot of people who voted for Trump and now they're mad that they did. They don't like what he's doing. Look, we got a war on our hands. People don't like the way he's moving. Some people don't like what he's doing. They're questioning, damn, what did we, but is this the first time you voted for somebody and you question what they did once they got in office? I don't think this is anything so different from presidents in the past, people that you voted for and they claim they're going to do this and claim, hell, a lot of people was disappointed in Obama. He got in there and he didn't really do anything to advance Black people. You know what I'm saying? That's something Black people had to grasp. And they didn't understand it at first. They were making excuses for him, and they were saying like, "Well, he can't do this and can't." He had the House and the Senate. He was able. He didn't do anything. He didn't pass any monumental bills that would advance Black people. And he was the president of change, right? And he really didn't make much changes that would help Black people. And so, in fact, he was asked what he was going to do for Black people. And he was like, it don't work like that. You can't just do anything Black, but they passed bills specifically for other groups of people. So I'm just saying, like, one could argue that. And a lot of people realize that after the fact, way later, because once again, everybody was so excited to have a Black president and we voted for a Black president and we got that, but he didn't do anything for Black people. So I'm just like, so that could be you could argue that you voted somebody in that you thought was going to make a big difference and it didn't make a major difference. So where's the he got criticism too now. But what I'm saying, this isn't anything new to vote in a president that claim they're going to do so much. And then if they falter on something or they don't come through with everything that you asked for, that somehow they need to be, scorned and just hated. You know what I'm saying? That could be said for many other presidents as well, from what I've seen. So I don't know. My whole thing is, look, people have the right to vote. Don't penalize people for having the rights to vote, which, especially as Black people, we didn't have the right to do it. We had to fight for it. So now that we have the choice to do it, don't criticize people for their choices. You can't control what other people do. You can only control what you do. So vote the way you feel necessary and let other people vote the way they feel necessary. And just because it may not always agree with you, I don't think people's livelihoods should be penalized for that. That's all I'm saying. Your personal lives, your vote is your personal thing. It's not for everybody else. It's for you. And if you vote a certain way and you don't like what they're doing, you can speak on that. That's all I'm saying. But maybe that's too logical. Maybe that's not how the world works. Maybe people just don't understand that concept or they don't want to, and I can't, you can't control it. You can only, like I said, you can only control what you do, what you feel is best for you. And that's it. But that's too much. That's too much for people, because people are just in their feelings. And they just don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, y'all. We got about 85 people watching and 64 likes. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, you guys. So, maybe that's just too mature. Maybe people want to be petty and they want to be immature and they don't give a damn about what I'm saying, because that's what we see. They don't give a damn what I'm saying, for real, though. They really don't. So they're going to do what they want to do, and you can't stop them. So if they want to drag this woman for voting for Trump, they going to drag her, and they are dragging her, by the way. Ezel Kenny, thank you for the super chat once again, says, so the Democratic Party is more of a cult than a Republican Party. I disagree. I look at how Trump supporters don't call him out. You know, and I think that could be said for either side, Ezel Kenny. You know, of course, whatever side you're partial to, you want to find the good in them. It's like family members, people that you love. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. Thank you so much for supporting. Once again, I appreciate you. I think it's that makes sense. Like, you know, you could have that family member or, you know, or like an artist, an artist celebrity that you like, right? You're partial to them because you like their music and you like them, you know what I'm saying? So when they do something that's crazy, you won't call it out because you'll try to make excuses for it because you're like, you want to see the good. People that you like, you want to see the good in them. Even when they're messing up. Even when they're messing up, you want to try to make an excuse for it because you like them. So you're more partial to people that you like. And so you don't want to say anything bad or you don't want to see any negative in them. But you got to understand that people are flawed. Whether you like them or not, they still have good and bad. You know, this is why when we talk about relationships, and I'm just going to move on from this in a second, but when we talk about relationships and how women think about men, they're looking for a perfect man. And there are some men who are looking for perfect women too. So you're looking for a perfect person. So you want to see everything, you want them to do everything right, perfect in your eyes. The minute they don't do something that's great in your eyes, then now you're condemning them and you're mad at them. And either you want to penalize them or walk away because it's like, well, God damn it, you're supposed to do everything I think you should do the way I think you should do it. And if you fall short of that, I'm out, I'm done. Well, if we look at the political aspect of it all, of course, people who vote Republican are going to be more partial to their Republican candidate. You're not going to see anything. You don't want to see anything negative in them. You want to think that everything that they're doing is positive because that's the candidate that you selected. So you want to believe that you selected the right. Everybody want to believe that they selected the right candidate and that candidate is going to honor everything that they said that it was going to do in the way that you thought they would. So if they mess up something, of course, you're going to be like, well, you know, maybe this, you're going to make excuses for them because that's who you voted for and you believe in what they're saying. So it makes sense. Same thing, either side. You're going to support what you believe in and you want to believe that they're going to do the right thing. So when they do something outside of that, it's puzzling to you, but you're going to stick with them. You're going to stick beside them and you're going to continuously believe that they're going to do the right thing. So that's all that is. It makes sense why people do that. But I think you got to understand that, hey, people talk a good game, but they don't always deliver. I don't give a damn who you are. You talk a good thing, a good game, but you don't always deliver. And I don't know, it could be you never intended on delivering it or you just fell short. Because, you know, before you actually do something, you know, everybody want to believe that they're doing the right things and they're saying the right things and they're giving the right message. And everybody will do all these great things before they actually are in a position to do it. You know how people tell you, I want to do this. I want to do that. You know how when you're young, you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to school for this, or I'm going to become this, or I'm going to do this. And I'm not going to get tired. And then when you actually get in a position to do it, you realize it's much more realer to actually be in a position doing it than it is just talking about it. Everybody could say how great they think they are and how great they're going to be and how great they're going to do things and all this until you're in a position to actually do it. And then when you realize it's not as easy as you thought, this is where you fall short. And the people on the outside looking in are like, you promised this, you said you're going to do this, but it's a lot harder when you're actually in a position to do it. When you have obstacles, you have opposing views, you have people who are not all the way on your side. So when you actually get in a position, you realize the obstacles that are there. You realize it's not that cut and dry. It's not that easy to do versus you just saying it. And I think sometimes with politics and presidents and all these elected officials, they realize when they get in there, it's not as easy as it was when you were on a campaign saying, I'm going to do all this and I'm going to change the world and I'm going to make it great and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then when you get in, you realize you cannot do all of that shit because it's not contingent just upon you. There's other parties and other people involved. So it's not just you. So if everybody is not in your corner and you have opposing, people involved, it's not always that easy. I'm hoping I'm making sense. I'm hoping I'm making sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. No matter whether you're Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. It goes the same for everybody. But I do think whatever side you choose, you want to trust and believe in that side. And so, yeah, if they mess up, you don't want to hold them accountable. I think you should. But you also got to understand, too, that it's not as easy, doing those whatever changes you're trying to bring about versus you saying it. They all promised the world. They all promised we're going to do this, and they've been promising it for years. And a lot of that stuff hasn't been done. There's a lot of things. They've been saying the same talking points in the political realm for years. You can go all the way back, as far as I know, to the 60s, and they still talking about we universal health care and all this, and we still don't have a universal health care policy. They've been talking about that for years. It's 2026, and we still don't have it. People are still struggling with health care payments, and that then went up, and it's still not affordable for everybody. So it's a lot of things that you could point to that really does not it's not on one party or the other, but both, honestly. Ezel Kenny says, oh, okay, I read that one. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's so, it is what it is. Okay, thank you. Yeah, but it is what it is, child. Ain't nothing changed. Politics has been the same. People, that's why they said do not ever talk politics and religion, because that's a tricky, depending on what religion you believe in and all that, somebody gonna like you, somebody not gonna like you. Political views, no matter which side you go, somebody gonna like you, somebody not gonna like you. You know what I mean? It's just a hot mess, for real, Let's move on from this. So, child, I want to pull this up. Let me remove that. So Tia Mowry is in the news once again, y'all. Tia is in the news. Tia supposedly have a new man.
Oh my God.
Tia might have a new boo, y'all. I don't know who this new boo is, but they're saying that Tia might have a new man.
Oh my God.
So I don't know who the man is, but what they're saying is, listen, shout out to Tia Mowry. They're saying he is younger than she is. She popped out. They took a picture. She kissing her new boo, honey. They're saying he's younger than her. And, she even commented that she found love and she's happy. And you know what? Shout out to Tia. Shout out to her if this is true, if this is allegedly true, and she got her new man. Listen, go live your life, honey. That's all I will say. Live your life, Tia. Nobody can stop that. If she, she found love and she's happy, I'm happy for her. But the speculation is, we got to go to that side of it. The speculation is that, child, this young man is just trying to clap the cheeks.
Oh my God.
He got him some of them cougar cheeks, and he gonna get the cougar cheeks, and then he gonna move on. Listen, I can't say whether that's true or not. You know what I'm saying? But I know what the streets are saying, and I know how people are thinking, and I know there is a pattern of us seeing this happen, especially in Hollywood, especially with celebrities. We've seen this play out 1,000 times. We've seen women who have been married. Lala Anthony was married, divorced. She was, attached to certain guys who were younger than her, even came out and said that older guys are not attracted to her, but the younger YNs are the ones who are after her.
Oh my God.
Why? Now listen, I could be wrong. This is not a true or false scenario. It's just my little opinion. And my opinion is this: I wish the best for Tia. Really, girl, if you could find love again and be happy, I'm all for it. But once again, the speculation on the streets is the fact that we've seen this scenario play out 1,000 times. Tia is hitting on 50 years old. Well, she looks great, honestly. She looks good. And she walked away from her husband, Corey Hardrick, for no real apparent reasons, but she was unhappy. She created a life with him. They had been married for a long time. She said he was her first, and she hadn't really gotten a chance to date much, outside of him. and he was her first, and she wanted to go explore. She was tired of just being with this one man, and she had not experienced a bunch of other men, because that seems like what she wanted to do. Explore to see if there's what else she likes and if there's something different from what she's had. So I think it was the curiosity setting in, the fact that, oh, I only been with this man my entire life. I want to go out and I want to see what else is out there. So I think that's what she's doing. She's gotten out to kind of explore. And when you go out to explore, you end up realizing that there's really not much you're missing. But by the time you realize that, you've put yourself out there in a way that doesn't really benefit you in the end. It's what we've seen a pattern of now. You know what I'm saying? That you go out here and you explore, you know, and some more, you know, men, because she hasn't had that experience. And then you get out there and you start to date. And if you listen to the women that are already on the dating scene and the men, but most of the women are saying that there's pee in the dating pool.
Oh my God.
That there is not much out there. And sometimes you can't, you know how if you have children, sometimes you can't just tell your kids, hey, that's bad for you. Don't do this, don't do that, because this what might happen. Sometimes telling them is not good enough. They have to go out and experience it for themselves to believe it, because they don't believe you. They think, oh, mom, dad, y'all are old. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. It ain't like that. So I got to go out and see for myself, because I don't believe you. So sometimes even with grown adults, you got to go bump your head to know that it hurts. And then you feel funny about it afterwards. In my opinion, and I'm not saying that this is what is going to happen to this grown woman. No, I'm not saying that. You know, I like Tia, to be honest. You know, I like her act, you know, her movies and Tia, sister. That was my girls. So it's not personal. It ain't personal. It's just an opinion, and it's just what the streets are saying and what I see and what could possibly happen. Not saying that it is. So let's just make that clear. You know what I mean? So we have seen people go out and attempt this several times, and the majority of them fell and bumped their heads and they could not recover. That's all I'm saying. We've seen this play out. We see a lot of beautiful women in that industry who have gone out, who've been beautiful, had all of the options of men in their younger years. What's her name? Lisa Ray, who's a grandmother now. What's her name? Vivica Fox, amongst others who are all single and grandmothers now, or older ladies, grannies now. They have had the pick of the litter back in their heyday. Beautiful women. They've been in relationships with different celebrities, different actors, different men. And some even been married, and that fell apart. And then they end up in their older years struggling to find a man. Now, these women still want a man, but it's hard to find one. Why is that? We've seen multiple examples of women who are out here, a lot of women who are out here in their 50s, 60s, struggling. They can't find a man, and they don't have children, a lot of them, and they wonder, like, what the F? What the F? Why am I still single? Why I don't have no kids? What happened? So they're not scratching their head like, what happened? But in Tia's situation, she was married a long time. She has kids by her ex-husband, and that wasn't good enough. And she's back out here on the stroll, and now she's allegedly dating this younger guy. I'm believing that they're dating because she's kissing him. Now, and it's not, you know, people are watching, the streets are watching, and they're like, okay, girl, this is a younger man. What's happening here? Are you looking to marry this guy? Do you want something like, you come from a stable marriage? So what do you want from him? Is this just for fun? What's going on? Because that tends to be the situation. A lot of these younger guys, they're not looking to marry you, especially they knowing the fact that you've already been married and that you have 2 kids by your ex-husband. So a lot of times these young, what they would call YNs, they're only out here to have a good time with you, honey. They happen to be with a cougar. They happen to be with a cougar. This is what the streets are saying. These guys be happy to be with a cougar, to have some fun with you. And then when they get tired, they move on. And then another question is, you know, there were people who were speculating about the fact that Tia was making all the money and she was basically holding Corey up. Do y'all really think that this YN, and I don't know who he is, but do y'all think that he make more money than her? We don't know. He could. And is he pampering her and giving the love that she was looking for, or is it falling short? That is something that she's going to have to figure out for herself. But to be honest with you, and I don't want to sound like a negative person, but we've seen this play out. A lot of times these relationships do not last, especially with these younger guys dating the older woman. And this is what happens. The older women tend to date younger men because the older, more mature, stable guys don't be interested in them. And so you find yourself out here with this guy thinking that it's more than what it is. And then when it doesn't work out, you'll see them together. And then all of a sudden you don't see them. So once again, I would not be surprised if it works out and it works for her. Kudos to her. Good luck. You know, hopefully things work out. But from the pattern that we've seen, this is not a new occurrence. It typically goes like this. If I seen her with an older guy, more mature, who probably would want to marry her, I would be like, yeah, usually that might work out. But when you see the older women that usually have younger men, it usually don't last. That's all I'm saying. But shout out to Tia. Shout out to her boo. You know what I mean? Hopefully it works out, and hopefully she, you know, can end that journey, and then she can finally settle down again and be happy with somebody else that outside of the husband that she has. Maybe he's bringing something that Corey didn't, and hopefully, you know, it works out. But typically, a lot of these types of relationships don't work out. But in hindsight, or what usually works now that, you know, she's out with a new man or whatever, you know, the real gag is, and I said this before, is when Corey pops up with a new, younger version of Tia.
Oh my God.
That's the part that they don't want to see. And usually those men, when they've been married before, they usually want marriage. So what the gag is when Corey comes up with a new, beautiful, younger woman, you get what I'm saying? And then he marries her, and Lord, if he creates a child, because, you know, the men, they can go and go meet a younger woman and then create a whole nother family. He could go and get another younger woman. You know, Tia is in perimenopause. You know, and I know it because she does the perimenopause commercials. You know, she's close to 50. So she's in perimenopause. She may not be able to create another child, but he can certainly meet a younger woman and create a whole nother family and get married. That's what the men tend to do. Now, when he pop up and go get married and create another child, oh my God, that's and that little situation with Tia is over with, and she keep going from man to man to man. If that's the case, that's when you start to see it all play out. And it's done happened before. This would not be a new occurrence, but good luck to them all. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to them all. You know what I mean? And that's typically what happens. And a lot of times the women go jump and get in a relationship with somebody because they know that the man is involved with somebody and they don't want to look stupid. So you go grab any old person or whatever and make it look like, oh, you're so happy. And then when it's over, he's thriving. He go get married and he go create a family. Oh, his new wife is pregnant. Oh my God, all hell gonna break loose.
Oh my God.
Then this is when reality sets in. When you just running around playing house with somebody and he actually goes and start a whole nother family, once he's finally moved on and gotten over her, that's what happens. We see that too. The men go get them a younger, beautiful woman, marry her, knock her up. Now you got a whole nother family that you in the house with, and then the other ones be looking stupid. Just saying. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says YNs see opportunities, child.
Oh my God.
They see the cougars' desperation and add to their body counts. They demanded the world from stable men, only to be hit and left like dust. No dating. It's a coping mechanism. I agree. I agree, Successful MD. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. I agree. And that's what we see happening. And they always, and, you know, to say, oh, you know, her husband wasn't making as much money. Corey's been working. And, you know, some could argue, oh, he didn't make as much as she did, but he was working and he was there. That was her husband. Instead of supporting that and nurturing that, and y'all continuously growing together, women, like they do, get bored, and you feel like, oh, it doesn't serve you, but then you go get with a younger guy that can't probably offer you much either, but you know, maybe some different type of loving, not even always better, but some different type of loving. That's what you want, is something different, and you get it. And then when that's old and there's no ties, y'all have no kids together, y'all not really in the same age bracket. He gonna want to go with somebody younger when he think you start to get too obsessive and all of this and get jealous or whatever. Then they're ready to move on. It don't typically work out. I read Tia was filming a TV show, so that's her boyfriend on the show, but I don't know how true that is. It could be her boyfriend on the show. You know what I mean? And so people are alleging that that's her new man, but we don't really know. It could be, could not be, but if it is, people are speculating that it ain't gonna be her man for long. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna work out. But anyway, child, once again, I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. If Corey is dating, Corey gonna find a younger version of Tia. That's what they typically do, and build a relationship with her, marry her. She don't probably have no kids. He gonna give her some kids, and then he gonna have a whole new family. And this is where the other person be bitter and crying on social media, like, "What happened? Oh my God, the men could just move on and then do this, and we're just stuck." Well, the child, you should have thought about that before you just walked away from your husband. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But shout out to her. Hopefully, everything goes well for her. All right. So listen to this particular story. So this, what is this? This popular TikTok star, his name is, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Kwabi Lami. The popular TikTok star is reportedly linked to a divorce case. So they're saying that his wife is divorcing him. The case has also raised questions about his wealth and how his assets are managed, right? So he is said to have an estimated net worth of around 20 million. However, reports suggest that many of his assets may not be in his personal name. And this is something a lot of these celebrities and these popular people are doing now. They're saying, according to claims in the report, several properties and holdings are registered under his father's name. This has created confusion about ownership during the divorce-related discussions. Because of this, it is unclear how the assets would be divided in legal proceedings if assets are not in his name. So Kwame Lami's wife filed for divorce, right? The court says he owns nothing, assets under his father's name. He is estimated to be worth about 20 million. So this is something that a lot of men are doing because they're becoming smarter, because they are realizing that a lot of these women are trying to take everything that they've worked for, and so they're not putting the assets in their name. So what's happening is, because it's not in his name, there's nothing that she could really get from it. So I want to play this little video clip because they're saying the agreement was that whoever has the most in their accounts is what, how they split it up. And so according to this, because most of his assets are not in his name, she can't really take much from it. But if she has anything in her name, that could be divided amongst the two. So let me pull up this video clip and see.
This man just pulled off the perfect Uno reverse card. I'm talking about genius move, chess play. So you got the famous TikToker, most followed TikToker, Kaby Lane, however it's said, worth about 80 to 100 million. My wife demanded that she wanted a divorce. Now she wanted equal division of his assets and a split of 50-50 of his fortune. Now she was rushing and trying to force this whole divorce, right? And that shit he pulled, y'all. Now they marriage agreement after the divorce. Now the spouse that have the most money in their account have to split it with the other one to make sure they can live, after each other, I guess. Y'all, his account had 2% of his fortune in it. It was never under his name. He put 98% of his fortune in his daddy's name, y'all. Uno reversed her ass. So she had 10 million in her account. She had to split the 10 million with him and everything. And he don't own his stuff, but he own his shit. What y'all think? Do y'all think he made the right choice? Or that's some bullshit? Because that's his wife. What you think, my boy?
Oh my God.
Listen, I think he did the right thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. And it's not because I know women watching and be like, "Well, girl, he been married to this woman, and he should, be willing to give his wife something." Now, I'm not saying that she should walk away with nothing. But what was the agreement in the beginning? That's what y'all have to decide in the beginning of the marriage. How y'all going to work this out? How this is going to go? Whether you sign prenups or whatever, y'all deal with that in the beginning. If there's a prenuptial agreement, you sign it. You agree that, hey, how are we going to do this or whatever, or what? I think that's something you should discuss in the beginning, in my opinion. I don't think that's something you should figure out in the end. You should discuss that in the beginning. How are we going to do this, or whatever. But I just think the days of women coming into relationships with men that they know they really don't like, you only there for what he can provide for you, are over, and you walking away with everything that he's worked for. I think that those days are over. And they should be. I don't think you should walk in and take over half of what somebody's worked hard for when you came in with nothing. I don't think that that's fair. I think what would be fair that if y'all have children that that y'all decide on, how the kids are going to, that y'all going to have joint custody of the kids, and maybe you pay for the education of the kids, or, just I want to keep the house, or, something comparable or whatever for the kids. So make sure that they're decent. And it don't have to be nothing super expensive either. A nice, decent neighborhood to live in, because that's what they're accustomed to, if that's what they're accustomed to. And, just to help with the monthly expenses. Not you walk away with everything that he's worked for so you could just go ball and live your sweet life and live a glamorous life on his dime. No, and while you going out screwing other men off of his money, no, that has nothing to do with you making sure that the kids are good. I think the kids should be good, a decent place to live, and the schooling and stuff like that. Y'all could maybe help with the monthly expenses, but you need to get up and work too at this point. It shouldn't just be all contingent upon the man if children are involved, because it's both of y'all that has to contribute. So yeah, I think men are getting a little smarter, because they realize that these women are opportunists, and a lot of these women are only there for what you can give them. They're not really there for you for real. They're there to just take. And I think men are getting smarter. They're finding ways so that these women can't, when it's all said and done, that these women can't just finesse everything they've worked hard for. And I think that's crazy that you would want to come in and take everything that the man has worked for. But that shows you, once again, they don't give a damn about you. They put in a little time, and and play the game so the end game could be strong. A lot of states, you have to be married to the person for a certain amount of time to collect any type of spousal support or any thing like that. So they put in the time, and then when they're ready to bounce, they ready to bounce and take your money with them. So I think it's smart. I think it's smart for these men to put things in place to protect their assets. It's not about the woman, just wife, because remember, these, for loving wives, loving women who are married to their husbands for the right reasons, they wouldn't be trying to take everything that you've worked for. They wouldn't be trying to just drain you dry like a financial vampire. They would want to do what's fair. They would be like, okay, they wouldn't be asking for everything, but you don't know if she's really that or not until Mad Day comes. You don't know if she's really a gold digger or not until Mad Day comes. So this makes it harder for men to trust women, even the women that they marry, because they don't know when everything looks good and she seems like a loving wife and all of this, until Mad Day comes and she's ready to leave you. Then that's when the true person unveils himself. That's when her true nature comes out. When she finally, you got to be here, thinking that this woman loves you and that she's this beautiful queen that you've married, and you always got to, have that skepticism in the back of your head to protect yourself, because you just never know. So listen, and I know it sounds bad, and it's like, damn, you don't trust your wife, but what other recourse do these men have? You could trust her to an extent, but also make sure that you protect your assets and trust that process. Because you just never know. And that's sad that I'm saying that, but it's the truth, because I feel like, I think there are some good women out there, and I think there are some women who wouldn't try to take you to the cleaners, but I don't have a goddamn magic wand either. And that would be insane of me to say, oh, just trust these women. Well, if you love your wife, just trust her. Child, I can't even say that in 2026, because there's too many financial vampires out here. She could pretend, and she could put on this fake voice and be the most loving, sweetest woman you've ever met. on surface. And she's always friendly and she's always nice. But if you got a lot of money, still protect your money.
Oh my God.
Treat her just as good as she treats you. Because in your mind, you love her, you want to believe everything about her. You can love her and trust her, but still trust that if she get mad, she might still want to take all your shit.
Oh my God.
I hate to say that, but it's the truth. This because you just never know. Just like you don't have a magic wand and an all-seeing eye, I don't either. And what looks good may not always be good. And also understand people have different sides to them. Some parts are good, some parts are bad. We're not all one thing. We are a mixture of shit and feelings and changes and all kinds of stuff. So you don't know what could change in that person. They could start off good and then they could turn bad. You don't know when that happens. We don't know. We can't see the future. We don't know what's gonna. So if you're unsure completely, even if you really care about this person, you believe they care about you, that's one aspect of it. Hell, and as a woman, I'm like, you know what? I ain't mad at that. You know what I mean? Look, we're here. I'm telling you, I care and I love you, and I'm not trying to do all of that. And you believe me? Okay, cool. But on the backhand side, still protect your money. Take care of your wife. Do good by her. She doing good by you. Love the time that y'all have and the energy that's put out, and hope and pray for the best. Hopefully you picked right. When Mad Day comes, if she's thinking about getting a divorce, and then she said, I'm going to take you for everything, the gag going to be on her.
Oh my God.
Then you know at the end of the day, damn, I'm glad I protected myself. Because that's all you can do. You don't know. You know, what's going on, Kennard, the DJ? How are you? You just don't know. That's all I'm saying. And I wouldn't, because I would tell my sons the same thing. And if she knows, well, she don't need to know about that part. You know what I mean? She don't need to know about that part. You do that on the low. And make sure you be the best man that you can be to your wife. And she's good to you, she's good to you. And you hope and pray she stays that way. And that way you don't have to, go through that process. But shit, you need to protect yourself. Successful MD says it's best to just be a Roman Pookie child.
Oh my God.
That's what I mean. Shit. What else? I mean, why not? I'm just saying, I don't think you should, but look like they be the ones, they don't give a shit. And they just getting what they want. I'm just saying, it looks like that. I'm just saying. I wouldn't say to just be that, but I get it. Thank you, Successful MD child. Captain Caveman, what's going on? How are you? Says, Dag, why are they trying to get me for my super chat paper?
Oh my God.
Captain Caveman, you a hot mess. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. Child, they're gonna take it for your super chat paper and any kind of paper you guys. When they a lot of them are desperate. I'm just saying. They'll take whatever you got. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Successful MD also says, bring the good women from Mars to your live stream. Child, if we could find them.
Oh
Yeah, there's a few, but they're already married. That's the problem. The good women are already taken. They're already in relationships. They're already married or in committed relationships. Yeah, the majority of them are. Thank you, Successful MD, once again. Yeah, that's the gag. A lot of them are already in relationships. They're already married, already in committed relationships. They're not available. So that what's left out here is what's left, child. That's what y'all got left to deal with. But yeah, I'm not mad at him doing this. And we see a lot of men are doing this and they're, escaping these issues of these women trying to take them to the cleaners. And once again, I just think that it's an unfair thing. I don't think you should want to just take everything from a person because you're deciding to walk away. No. In fact, I think if you decide to walk away from your marriage and there was no abuse, I think that it should be under certain circumstances. It shouldn't be a no-fault divorce. I think we should do away with no-fault divorces. I think there should be a legitimate reason as to why you want to walk away from your marriage. And the deal breakers will be abuse that we could prove and you have to report it. You have to make sure that's been reported, that this man is abusing you, your life is at risk, your children's lives are in danger, that he's definitely knocking you out and knocking your head between the washer and the dryer and trying to cover it up. And there should be legitimate reasons as to why you want to walk away. And if there's no no real legitimate reasons to why you're divorcing, then because that is contingent upon you getting like spousal support or whatever, I think it should be contingent upon that. If there's no real reason, you just woke up and you feel like you could do better, hell no. You should be able to, you shouldn't, if you walk away, you could walk away, but you don't get no spousal support, you don't get none of that. Because you're choosing to walk away. I think the only way you should get it is if there's a legitimate reasons as to why you're leaving. And abuse should be at the top of that list. Abuse, maybe infidelity, because I don't think when you get married, you're signing up for that. That's just me personally. I don't think when you get married, you're signing up to say, oh, you can go screw other women. No, the whole point of marriage is that you're committed to each other. That is the two of you. You know what I'm saying? I think it's certain things, certain major reasons should be the only way that you could walk away from your marriage and get money and support, because you're choosing to leave. He didn't choose to leave. And I think that's what it should be. There should be conditions. Just saying. 87 Stevens, thank you for the super chat, says, to piggyback off of Successful MD, she does have a couple of pookies on the side to take care of and treat them like a king of Pookieville.
Oh my God.
That's crazy though. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Thank you, 87 Stevens, for the super chat. I appreciate you for being here in your commentary. Yeah. But once again, this dating age is a hot mess. I just, I wouldn't want to be in it because it's too much. And I certainly would want to be an old cougar out here on the streets looking for a young YN that you gotta probably take care of, and you know what I'm saying? He giving you some good loving. I mean, come on. You don't have to get a YN for that. There's older men who can give you some good loving too. I don't why I think they be talking about all these YNs. They know what they're doing. I don't think all the YNs know what they're doing. Okay, there's some men out here who know what they're doing, and they not know why, and they older. Older men know what they're doing too. It ain't just a YN. I just want them young men, and then when you gotta buy them, you gotta pay for their meals and buy them clothes and do all that. Y'all mad about that? You leave a man to go get with a younger man that you gotta babysit and take care of still. Like, come on now. And where the women at? Because a lot of the women, when they see this, they're gonna be like, oh, go ahead, girl, and okay that on. But then y'all talk about, oh, the man her husband was broke and all that, but you go get with a broke YN just to feel good about yourself. I'm just saying, like, it just don't make no sense out here in these streets, y'all. But anyway, child, I'm just like, child, if I was out here dating, I certainly wouldn't want no young whippersnapper. No, I need somebody around my age who got some wisdom and knowledge and some sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if I was single, just saying. It's a hot mess. All right, moving right along. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. 78 people watching. Oh, okay, the likes are up. Thank y'all.
Oh my God.
Thank you for the likes, y'all. Wait a minute. Another 304. What 304 rapper is pregnant, Lorenzo? You talking about Lotto? Ciao. Captain Caveman says, in this day and age, you gotta have them sign prenups, the marriage license, and NDAs. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Sign that and put your money in somebody else's name too. Because, child, they say these prenups aren't always solid, that there's ways around it. They can say that they signed it under duress and stuff like that. So just back that up with something else too. Just saying. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. A mess. So let's move on. I have this clip from O'Shea. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson of this pastor. So y'all remember Marvin Sapp, right? Remember Marvin Sapp had that video of him was circulating all over social media where he was saying, close the doors. You know what? He wanted these people to donate this money, and you can't leave unless you donate.
Oh my God.
And then he tried to, backtrack and say that wasn't what the case, that people could have left any time. But he was saying, close the doors. Like, y'all ain't getting the hell up out of here unless you give me this money. So that led to people, Suki, oh God, hell.
Oh my God.
Child, Lord. Okay. But that led people to speculate about the church money, and then something about them buying a helicopter and all this kinds of stuff, child. Once again, y'all already know how I feel about these pastors, these pimping preachers out here just pimping people for money. It's getting out of hand. But this pastor's Marvin Sapp's wife, his new wife, recently new wife, spoke for the first time on Easter Sunday, child. And she came out and instead of her giving some other type of speech or whatever about the women's event or whatever she's planning coming up, she had some things to say about the church money and the pastor. So I want to play a little of O'Shea's video of him speaking on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about these pimping preachers, child, because they just out of hand and they're entitled. And I think that's why a lot of men realize what's going on and don't want to go to church, because they're not stupid. And they're catering to these single mothers out here to keep this money flowing, and then chastise you and try to force you to give money when you don't want to, or when the tithes are low. But it's insane to me. But let's get into this video. Here we go.
January 13th, 2026, Drewski opened the year with a Megachurch pastor skit. It got over 56.8 million views on TikTok, and it caused a lot of ruckus. But this was my favorite part.
As somebody in the congregation asked why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. I'm a Christian first.
Now on this skit, Drewski had on a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes. When I first looked at it, I really just didn't pay any attention to it until I had to research what it was. These shoes are well over $1,000, and these shoes are known for having a red bottom signature. And again, I thought that didn't even make any sense, because what preacher would wear those shoes, right? Drewski would get his point across with this particular skit, and it would lead to many conversations about the current state of the black church and the greed of these leaders and pastors. And speaking of pastors, fast forward! On March 20th, 2026, a popular bishop by the name of Marvin Sapp got married to a lady by the name of Dr. Laboris Cole at the Chosen Vessel Church in Fort Worth, Texas. It was, by all accounts, a very expensive wedding. But before this wedding came about, he had a scandal. Now, we're going to get back to this particular scandal here. Let's get back to the wedding. So the wedding happens. Ebony covers the wedding. It's a luxurious wedding. And people started to speculate.
I remember hearing about a month or so ago that Marvin Sapp had got engaged. Well, Essence reported today that he got married. His wife is gorgeous, but is this a helicopter? Like, what was the budget for the wedding that she pulled up in the helicopter? And they had ballet dancers. Is this why he was telling them to hold the doors a while back? He needed somebody to pay for that helicopter and this wedding.
Well, one thing that Dr. Laboris Cole did in the wedding was she pulled up in a helicopter. Girl. And so many people around the black church community started to accuse Marvin Sapp and his new bride of...
Let me say this real quick. I think a lot of the church people are stupid. I'm just going to say it. They be sitting up in there complaining about what the pastor is spending money on, but y'all still be sitting there putting y'all tithes in and spending y'all money. What are y'all? And you know what? There's this ongoing theme of pastors who like to say, well, I made money before this, and, I don't just make money from the church and I don't use the church money. I'm already successful. Really? Really? So y'all don't depend on, so everybody need to stop giving tithes then. Why, when the tithes are short, they be begging the people and saying, lock the doors and do all this when the money is short? If you already got your money and you made your money from other investments and other this and other that, why y'all still be begging when the tithes are short for people and saying, lock the doors so people can give y'all more? Why y'all always having these epiphanies of God speaking to y'all and saying, everybody need to give $2,000 and everybody need to do this? Why? If y'all are not dependent upon the church money, why y'all always asking for it? Shouldn't y'all give these people a break at some point? When y'all know the economy is bad and a lot of people are struggling, and communities where y'all set up these churches always in the poorest of the poor areas, why don't y'all give these people a break Why don't y'all reach out and help the goddamn audience members, the choir, the church members? Because Lord knows, we went to a mega church, and a lot of the people were broke. The churches are always set up in the midst of the hard, struggling areas. And these people be coming because they have a need, and they're going to the church to hope and pray to God to give them, fulfill their needs. Y'all know what y'all doing. And so they set up in the shop where people are struggling, Black communities. And then y'all sit here and y'all don't mind taking these people's Social Security checks. Y'all don't mind taking it. Why don't you give these elderly people a break and say, y'all don't need to pay tithes for a few months. Keep your money, go use it for something else. Why don't y'all do something where you give back to the community, where you say, you know what, for the next 10 Sundays, we're going to donate to the people. Y'all been helping us out for years. Y'all been helping us buy this and buy that and supporting this and the church fund and all these building extras and all the building funds and all these things. We going to give y'all a break. Come on, everybody who needs your bills paid. And you will be surprised every time a church, if they happen to do something like that to want to help the people, you see the damn whole congregation comes up. Because a lot of them are struggling and need help. They need a bill paid. But while they're being loyal to you, they don't rarely turn around and say, look, we're going to help y'all for some months. What's your bills cost? We're going to give back. No, because that's taken from the money that they need for their building fund, for the bills, for whatever their bills and all this kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? So to be saying, oh, we don't really need it, we're successful without you, like, is a lie, in my opinion. It's a goddamn lie. Y'all, they do depend on them church funds. And matter of fact, you depend on it, you want it, and you're greedy. Manny E, thank you for the super chat, says, too many sheep following false prophets. People need to stop believing anyone who says the name God. Common sense is not common. Oh my God. Amen to that, Manny. Child, thank you for the super chat. Child, baby, we did stop going to church. I'm telling you. We used to be going, and and look, I was a member of a well-known, church in New Orleans, going every Sunday with my mother and me and my husband. And when the kids were small, even though my husband wasn't really deep into it, he was going, to support me going. And baby, I used to be shooting and shouting and hollering and faking and all of that. I was faking. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, just do what the people are doing. I didn't feel no damn Holy Ghost. I was in there jumping because everybody else was jumping and shouting and jumping because the pastor say do it. Like, and that's what people be doing. Like, they be in there faking and playing Christian and stuff like that. And just doing what the church tell you to do. My husband used to say, oh, yeah, you was in the spirit. He used to laugh at me. You was in the spirit, huh? Yeah, shouting. I was shouting, y'all. Shouting. And then he said, as soon as the pastor said stop, you just stopped. And he just bust out laughing because he think it's hilarious. If you felt the spirit, why you just stop as soon as the pastor say stop? Like, it's just a game these people be playing. And the church is messy. That's all. You don't have to go to the clubs or go to the worldly area for mess. It's right in the church. They messy. They got all kind of scandals in the churches. This one, Deacon Fry, sleeping with sister this, and this one up here is fighting this one. This one over here is homosexual. Like, it's a lot going on in the church. You don't need to go outside the church, baby. They be fighting, cussing in the church. Have you ever seen somebody cuss in the church? I have. They forgot where they was at because there's no difference. Baby, they be gossiping and talking about people. It's a hot mess in the church. You don't have to go nowhere for the drama. Go to church. They're going to show you the drama. All this drama in the church. People be getting beat up by thugs. The child. I mean, there was a lot going on in the church that we was going to. There was people that were the dope dealers was after the people because somebody was on drugs and a drug debt. No lies. They be waiting outside of him after choir rehearsal. A group of thugs because you owe them money for the drugs that you've been getting from them and you ain't pay. And they waiting on you, beating you up for their money. Like, these are the church members. So, baby, trust me, I used to be in the choir. So, trust me, there was a lot of scandal in the church. Married people fooling with folks and all kinds of shit going on. Baby, that's why I'm like, they're a bunch of hypocrites. You can't trust the church, period. I'm sorry. Captain Caveman, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, when I was little, my mother would send me to the plate with money along with the people in the same row. I left that aisle with over $100, but that plate ended up with $5 and loose change candy money. Oh my God. You know what, Captain K, man? Look, I have a similar story, child. Baby, I was a kid though. Yeah, baby. That lady left that money. She had left that money on the bench for her to give, baby. I reached over that bench, took that money, honey, in the church. I was a child though. But then they was like, she was looking for her money. I forget her name, sister somebody, I forget. She was needing her money and she was like, where's my money? She was like, that's all she had left. So that was her money. It wasn't for tithes or offering. She just left it on the bench. She trusted people. And I'm, as a kid, you know, looking like, yeah, I could buy me some candy with that too. Baby, I had to snatch her money up, honey. And I was ready. I couldn't wait to leave. But church wasn't over just yet. And then I felt bad because I'm not a bad kid. I felt bad. And when it was like, I think I told my mother at the time, I'm like, I found this money on the bench. She was like, oh, that was sister somebody money. She said, that lady was crying. I put it back on the bench so she could get it. I couldn't just keep it, you know. So I had a conscience even then. But child, I was gonna have a field day. I was going straight and buy me some candy. So I get it, Captain Cave, man. You know what I mean? Thank you for the super chat, child. But I gave it back because I was like, oh shit, that's how much she need her money. So I didn't keep it. But baby, thank you for the super chat. It'd be a hot mess, child. It'd be a hot mess. But yeah, the church is a hot mess. Anyway, let's continue.
Stealing money from the church to pay for this helicopter. But then there's more.
They got their red bottoms on and everything. They bloody shoes.
Now, this photo is really interesting because, again, these guys have on the Christian Louboutin shoes. And guess what that matches? This matches 100% with Drewski's accusation. Woo! Marvin Sapp walked right into it and just didn't even realize it. Drewski predicted this completely. But fast forward. From March 20th to April the 5th, there was still a lot of speculation about Marvin Sapp and his new wife. How are they affording this wedding? Why is it so much money? You know, who is paying for this? I mean, she doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the money. This is the reason why he wanted people to close those doors in the church. And that's how they funded the church. I mean, because these pastors are stealing. That was the talk. And Marvin Sapp largely tried to ignore this. Right. But on Easter Sunday, which was on April the 5th, his new wife, this is the first time she's actually coming up as the first lady.
Why do pastors be so big? I'm just saying, you know, they say your body is supposed to be a temple, right? Why so many? And I've been in the church and I've seen all the big backs for years, child. Why do the most Christian people be so goddamn big? And then they say your body is the temple of God. Why? And y'all eating too much of the communion. I'm just saying. And I literally have seen people take a ham. God forgive me. Listen, I'm just telling the truth. The truth shall set you free, right? Hell, I've literally seen people grab a whole bunch of communion crackers because they was hungry. And then you look at them and they big. And they can't, they you know, the people handing it out, you can't get, I've seen them take at least two of the juice, you know, the body and the blood, right? Which is ridiculous. Why we want to be drinking blood and eating the body, which now, you know, hell, I guess they don't have a problem with people eating the groceries because they talking about eating the body and drinking the blood. So eating the groceries is okay, I guess, with the Christians. Oh my God. So they don't have a problem with you eating the groceries, I'm sure. All the people in the church, right? It's like eating the body and drinking the blood. So eating the groceries, that ain't nothing, you know. And there's a lot of eating and going on in the church. I'm just saying. But anyway, child, what was I saying? I done lost track. What was I saying? Because I've seen the big backs in the church taking a handful of communion crackers and at least 2 of the blood, the juices. And the man, he moved the thing fast, like, girl, everybody else got to get some. So they don't let you, you could grab the crackers, but the little juices in the little, the little round thing. So you can't grab too many of them. So they'll get too quick with the quickness. And he already moved it like, girl, you big back ass, what are you doing? They be talking about him in their head, I know. But they got to, keep it cute. But why is it that the Christians who are so Christian and holy be big? The pastor's always fat. The congregation is huge. The choir members are all big. Everybody is big. There was this video of this one pastor. His feet would look like ham hocks. But he had to address it because he had his feet in some open slippers or something. And people was like, what the hell, making memes? I don't know who this pastor is, but people was making memes of his feet. His feet was so thick, like this thick on top. And I even noticed, I'm like, oh, damn, what's wrong with his feet? I don't know. This pastor, he may be new. I don't know what. I seen it on Instagram. His feet was so goddamn swollen. People was like, what? They was making memes of his feet. He came out and said that he had stage 5 kidney failure. He had stage 5 kidney failure, and that's why his feet so big. And he said he's getting better. Praise God. He said he getting better. Hopefully he can be okay, but his feet was this goddamn thick, like a burger. Like this a burger you about to eat, that's his feet on top. That big and swollen. And he's not super fat, but he's kind of big. And, the wife is big. Everybody be big in the church. I always wonder why. And then when they have the times when they cook at the church and they have the food and stuff, boy, everybody just eating plates and plates of food. Everybody is big. They don't care. They don't view their body as a temple. They just say it. But when it's time to eat, they eat. Oh my God. They're not worried about the temple then. But anyway, child, that's just me. David, thank you for the super chat. Says the church is feeding them very well. Yes. Oh very, very well, David. I mean, more than they need. They can't wait. That's why you can't feel, it's like, boy, yeah, they like to eat. And I'm just saying, all the good Christian singers are big bags. Big. They're all big. Them be some of the best singers. It's like big. I'm just saying. And so anyway, I just thought, thank you, David. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
Decided to get something off her chest.
Make sure you know who you marrying, that you don't marry somebody that try to compete with you. So Bishop, thank you so much for taking all of me, all that came with me. Ministry, goofy, loud, happy, loving. I appreciate you. Despite what the haters on the internet say about you, you are an integral man. You don't take or rob the church. The church didn't pay for the wedding. Y'all stop lying. God's been good to me. Y'all stop that. Y'all stop the devil. You are defeated.
Now, this is her introduction to the church or the public, I guess, because I'm pretty sure the church already knows her. But this is her first time speaking out that we could hear, the new wife, and people were criticizing how she's talking and what she's talking about, saying, girl, you could have kept this for another time or whatever, but she chose on Easter Sunday to come and speak this way. Let's continue.
Yeah. Saying all these lies about the man of God. I bought the helicopter. He didn't buy the helicopter. Let's make that straight while we screaming. Y'all stop lying. Stop it. Everybody not broke. And everybody don't need money. So
now, first off, ma'am, First Lady, for the First Lady to be coming out talking about money, talking about everybody ain't broke, the majority of that congregation is probably struggling in some way, shape, or form. Look, I've experienced the Megachurch experience, and I know the majority of them and the people on the pulpit and in the choir were struggling, working regular goddamn jobs. They were not rich, so they were poor or somewhere near that. A lot of those people are struggling. I look, the people singing in the choir, the people singing on the pulpit, they all had jobs, a lot of them, and they were not rich. They may not have been the poorest of the poorest, but they were average people. The majority of the congregation were poor people. People who received SSI, Social Security. They were poor, living paycheck to paycheck, having to work, losing their jobs. This is why they needed help from the church, which the help wouldn't give them the help. Because it's all about you giving to them, not them pouring back in you. Because they pour into you, they wouldn't have as much as they have. So they didn't want to do that much. That's why a lot of people left the church, because they're like, this church, I've been supporting this church for years. And when I needed help, they couldn't help me. And this is a real thing. So to say that everybody ain't broke to a congregation of people that y'all depend on, from a lot of those people are struggling. So I thought that was like disingenuous, and it wasn't a very Christian-like thing to say. And why is everybody talking about money? These people are no different from the worldly folks. Y'all talking about people broke. Like, why have people become so comfortable calling people broke when a lot of these people are majority of people are average, and these are all the people that y'all do look to fund the church. So to sit up here, I just think everybody should be like, you know what? Well, y'all don't need our tithes. We can keep our money and we can use it for ourselves, but they won't do it. Ezell Kenny, thank you once again for the super chat, says, the feet reminds me of when Chris Rock said a fat woman's feet look like bread bacon in her shoe. What would it look like? A little loaf of bread. Oh, shit. That's what it looked like. A little loaf of bread. Damn. That's what it looked like, though. That's exactly what it looked like. It does. It does. A little loaf. That, bake. Yup. Damn. Thank you, Ezell Kenny. I appreciate you. That's exactly what it looked like. Little ham hocks or a little bread, a loaf of bread. Child. Captain Caveman says, did Pastor wife do the Dee big bag voice? Did she? Shoot. I don't know, but I just thought her conversation was inappropriate. I'm just saying, on Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? She did something there, child. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. Captain Caveman, thank you for the super chat. JSU Tiger 07 says, after service, they go to Golden Corral to eat, child. Yeah, a lot of them do. And they eat everything. The buffet be empty when they finish, child. Oh my God. Child, and it be, there's always a big old man and woman with game in their pockets, because when you're big like that, you could smell and be sweating. I never forget, I was hostess at a restaurant in a hotel, and the man came in there, and he was so big and he was out of breath, and he reeked of Gain. Well, he smelled like Gain, which Gain smells Gain washing powder, y'all. Smells so good, but he had too much on. It was burning out eyes. And he had it in his pockets or something. Hell, he washed his clothes in it. He had it in his pocket because he didn't want to sweat and stink. But goddamn, our eyes was burning, and then he couldn't fit in the chairs. We had to get a big bench for him and stuff. It was too big. It was a church convention. Trust me. This how I know. I worked in a as a hostess, and baby, for Valentine's or whatever church conventions, that they come rolling in big, all of them. Like, oh my God, it was just a sight to see. I'm just saying. Thank you, JSU Tiger, for the super chat. Yeah, they come in strong and big. They need, boy, and there was a buffet too. And they tear that goddamn buffet up. I'm just saying. And be coming in, singing. And a lot of them could sing now. I went to church with them. Yeah, we used to go to the either Golden Corral. We did it. I was a part of it. Yeah, Golden Corral. You're exactly right. We used to go to Golden Corral after church. And then we used to do Shoney's for like when we went out of town on church trips. They would do Shoney's. Remember Shoney's? Shoney's for the breakfast buffet. I think it was Shoney's. We did the breakfast buffet. We did the golden. Yeah, child, they be in there heavy. I know. And never would like to tip the people, child. I was a part of that. Yep. Captain K-Man saying, then in the hospital with clogged arteries asking for prayer. Oh my God. You know how it go. Exactly. Captain K-Man. Yeah. Oh no. We gotta pray for sister Shamar. Yeah, she's in the hospital. Yeah, she's in ICU, but we're gonna pray that God is gonna bring her through, and we're gonna lift her up in prayer. Yeah, I've been in the choir and I heard that, and we have to pray for the person, and that she gonna, She gonna be lifted up out of that. Yep. Been a part of it all. Exactly. Yep. All we gonna pray that God is gonna see her through. You know, sometimes he see her through, and sometimes they don't get, they end up, going on to Christ. They usually tell us, oh, sister such and such, we did all we could and we prayed, but she went on to the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Right. It happens. And they be big as a house. Exactly. Whitney 9575, thank you for the super chat. Whitney says, for some odd reason, when I was little, I thought the church people were rich. I was surprised to hear that most of them were poor. Exactly. I wasn't surprised. I realized it. Yeah, it's everyday. Look, it's everyday people who are struggling with bills. The church we went to, a lot of the people were working regular jobs, some of them 2 jobs. Thank you, Whitney. I appreciate you. They, were struggling. And when they needed help, they went to the church and the church couldn't help them. I know people who walked away from the church because they couldn't get help. And they were loyal supporters of that church for years. And when they went, they had a church fund that was supposed to help, but they put the fund in place, but they don't really be giving money to people like that because the money is not really meant to really help the people who are patronizing the church. It's for you to keep giving, and then when you need it, they can't give it to you because they didn't already invested your money, they didn't already counted for your money, and they depend on your money. So this is why I say, when they say, oh, the church ain't dependent on your money, it's a goddamn lie, because yes, they do. If everybody stop giving them tithes and stop giving offering when the plate come around, you gonna see how much they depend on your money, because they're gonna say, lock the doors.
Lock the doors. We gotta get this money, okay?
So if it's not on that, why would y'all do that? Y'all wouldn't need that. That the tithes and offers would just be extra. No, because they're lying. They're lying. They need your money, and the people that's giving the money be needing money too. They be struggling too. Like, these people ain't rich people. Those people be struggling with their light bills getting paid. That's why so often in the church that we went to in New Orleans, which was great at St. Stephen's, we went to that church, was members of that church for years. I'll never forget when another pastor came to the church and said, he said he was led to pull up to offer an offering for people who needed money in the church. He said everybody who was struggling, who needed the money for a bill or needed money for, so come up. Damn near the whole church went up. And he said, I want everybody else to donate so we can help these people. And they did it. And then the pastor of the church said, hold on, wait a minute.
Hold on, wait a minute. If you're not a member of this church now, essentially, we can't help you. So he took something that was supposed to help the people and said, wait a minute, if you coming up and you need help, but you're not a member, we can't help you.
That's the kind of stuff that I was privy to, and I'll never forget it. So it wasn't about just helping people randomly. You had to be a member of the church. Because why? Because if you're not, it's like, if you don't contribute to this church, then you can't get nothing out of it, as opposed to being just really about godly values and helping people who need help, and it shouldn't matter if you're a member of the church or not. If that man was led to do that and y'all was supposed to be led by God, then that's supposed to, you help who's there. That person probably came there that night and wasn't a member. Somebody offered them to come with them to church, as people would do, to come to church, and they needed help and they got that help that night. So that'd be a blessing for them. But child, trust me, it'd be a lot going on. Lots going on. I'm telling you. And, it deters people from the church. Yo, it's Eric TV. Thank you for the super chat. It says they family now. My cousin married them in.
Oh my God.
Thank you for the super chat, Eric TV. I appreciate you. He also says they're going to a special hot place.
Oh my God.
Child. Are we already there though? Are we already in hell? I'm just saying. Thank you, yo. It's Eric TV. I appreciate you, bro. Let's continue.
Hey, God's been good, y'all. I just don't look good. But I have surrendered my life to God. And he's blessed me with multiple streams of income, as well as the bishop. He has multiple streams of income outside the church. When he wasn't getting paid here, God still blessed him. God still bless. So y'all go and record and tell that. Yeah. I tell Bishop all the time, I told God a long time ago, I'm not going to serve you and your people, and I'm broke. I look like brokenness. So how can I be a living witness to you all that God is healer?
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the think you is?
The first lady came up and just started wilding out. And this got some criticism from certain people.
This was your first time getting up in front of the congregation as, quote unquote, the first lady, and then what you do? Start defending him? Y'all got it wrong. He ain't stole no money from the church. We paid for this way. It was our money.
To be honest, I gotta agree. Like, wasn't it your job just to come up there and just to do the announcements? You didn't do that at all. You went up there and you started to basically, defend yourself and defend him, which wasn't required. You were only supposed to go up there and then sit your ass down. But you know what? The comment section stole the whole entire story. The comment section started coming out with a whole bunch of other accusations. And the first thing that I saw was, Drewski, get here now. Woo! Another person said, y'all be in that pulpit talking about everything but that word.
Amen.
On Resurrection Day, this could have been addressed on a different platform at a different time. Talk about Jesus. Slim Reaper, he says this: we need another Drewski skit. This is so ghetto and unnecessary. Right. And maybe they do have the money to afford a private helicopter to do a wedding, which probably isn't overkill, but this showed me something, as much as Drewski showed me something, that there's an institutional lack of trust for people like Marvin Sapp. They've kind of already made their own grave. Let me tell you what I mean. When you are a pastor or a leader, and there's a clip of you going around saying, close those doors, and then you follow it up with the photos like we see here with him in his Christian Louboutin shoes that look just exactly like Drewski's skit. Then you have ballet dancers at your wedding. You're living extremely lavishly when your members most likely do not. You and other black pastors are demanding that people give more and more money when they don't see more and more progress in the community in which the church lives. You're pretty much asking for false accusations to be leveraged against you. And also for the fact that the lady got up there and started to just defend herself on Easter Sunday, even when she wasn't asked to do so, also makes you look extremely guilty. And the thing that leaders have to understand, especially in the church, there is going to be checks and balances. When you are representing Christianity or any form of religion, it is your job as leaders to be modest. And that's one of the big problems that I see, especially in black denominations, whether it's non-denominational or especially, some of these word of faith churches. The role of the pastor is starting to be too celebrity-like. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's definitely becoming too celebrity-like. But that's what they want. They want to be looked at as celebrities. They want to be looked at as, like a celebrity. And you want people to follow you and all of these things, when that is the total opposite of what Christ would do, in my opinion. And, Jesus, it's like, yeah, they want to be like the celebrities. You wearing name brands and things, and you want people to pay for this. The first lady got to have helicopters. They're not modest at all. They're pushing a certain lifestyle, just like celebrities. They want to be in line with the celebrities. They want to feel like they're celebrities, in my opinion. And I just think it goes outside of what they claim to be. And people see right through that. But they also know that they have a group of cult followers who are going to just, be okay. Once again, follow them and be okay with what they're doing, even though they know it's not right. But they're going to sit there and they're going to uphold that behavior because they want to be a part of the church and they want to feel like they're a part of something. And to me, it's not about godly behavior. It's about money. They're no different from anybody. They just want money. You want money to take care of your families and buy all these expensive cars and shoes and things, and y'all family benefit in the congregation be struggling. But they don't want to look like they're struggling. Anytime you have pastors out here standing up telling people what they gave ain't good enough. That other pastor got up and that ain't what I asked for. Like, and then, oh my God, I could not be in no church these days. I'd be like, you won't get a goddamn thing from me. If I did give you something, you better be happy with that, or you get nothing at all. But the majority of these people are still enslaved to that type of mindset. They feel like they're loyal. They're like in a cult, like they gotta give, or they don't feel right. Child, no, hell no. Captain Caveman, thank you once again for the super chat. Says during a hurricane, many people went to Joel Osteen Church as members for shelter, and he refused them, talking about it wasn't organized. Shaking my head, child. And I'm also familiar with that as too, Captain Caveman. Thank you for the super chat. You are absolutely right. I mean, listen, we came out of Katrina, and that was horrible. We evacuated before everything went down, but a lot of people went to the church for shelter or whatever. It wasn't available. They didn't set up anything for the members. These members were scattered all over, all over. It was just horrible. So I know that firsthand too. Thank you, Captain Caveman. There was nothing really set up for the members. It's like they got on their planes or whatever they did, and they got the hell up out of there. And the members were just left to their own devices. This is what I'm saying. This is not set up to help the members. It's set up for you to keep giving. And you give your all, and then they can't even give you anything back. And I just don't think the church has turned into something else. And I don't think it's right. Captain Caveman said, I would have organized a jack move. Right. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's just a game. You know what I mean? It's all about them gaining from you. It's not about God anymore. These people aren't moving the way God would move. They're not godly. They're there to use you to get, that was Marvin Winans. Yes, Lorenzo. They're there to get money from you. That's it. And if Hurricane Katrina didn't prove that, I don't know what did. That certainly proved a lot of people from New Orleans were misplaced all over everywhere or everywhere. And they didn't do anything. There were smaller churches in the neighborhood or in the vicinity of New Orleans that actually did what they could to help people as much as they could. But the big mega church, they didn't do anything. And then it was the audacity to come out afterwards when people were all misplaced all over the country. You know what I mean? To go around looking for members, it was insane to me, and wondering where they at to see if you can get them back to what support. I'm like, it's just crazy. And then on top of that, after all the dust was settled, to open the church back up and still be asking people for donations because y'all needed lights for the church and all this. Like, what? People are still trying to recover, and y'all still asking people for money and to support something they need the support. Look, this is why so many people don't believe, have moved away from the church, because when you see that type of stuff, you don't feel inclined to go back and support when you know when their true colors, when the real truth came out. When you really see that these people ain't really godly and they're not really trying to help you when you in need. They just want you to keep giving to them so they can keep building and help take care of themselves and take care of their children driving nice cars and all that. And there are a lot of people at the church who don't even have a car. You got to use the church transportation or get rides. There are a lot of people in the church who don't have transportation, and you mind your kids nice cars, and they going getting their college paid for, and they getting all kind of stuff too off of the church. And the people in the church ain't got nothing. So I don't agree with that. And this is the stuff we've seen firsthand. And I just think, I don't agree with that. And I just think that's why a lot of people left the church. A lot of people walked away. People I personally know walked away from the church because they realized something. They were hurt. A lot of people were hurt by the church because they felt like, damn, I've been a member of this church for 20 years and never asked for anything, never needed any help. Then a couple of the people that we know lost their jobs. And they needed some help till they found, to get back on their feet to find another job. And they went to the church, and the church couldn't help them, and they left the church. Several people we know walked away from the church because they're like, this is unacceptable. So I get it. And then people were just hurt by that. So yeah, and it's not all churches, because like I said, there are a lot of the smaller churches that actually that'll do more. I remember going to a Pentecostal church as a young like a young teenager. And those people, there was some of the members in the church that needed help. These white churches, the white churches, they would raise an offering for that person. There was somebody who lost their job and for whatever reason needed some help. The pastor got right there and they said, sister such and such needs some help. Let's raise something to help her. And the church raised the money, the basket of money, and they handed it to the goddamn lady. They handed it to the lady. Whatever was in that offering, they gave it straight to her. And I had never seen that before. And she was grateful and happy. And whatever they raised, she could use it. They didn't say, oh, let's, you got to be a member. No, whoever she was a member, by the way. But they raised the church, whatever money they raised, they handed it to that lady. And so, I've seen some of the smaller churches do stuff like that and actually help the person, but the bigger churches, child, it's a different story. I'm just saying. What's going on, C. Irving? How you been? Thank you for the super chat. C. Irving says, yep, some of my family members were let down from the church back in the day, Pentecostal church. Oh my God. Thank you, C. Irving, for that. And thank you so much for being here. How you been? So yeah, once again, it's not all, but it happens. David, thank you for the super chat. Says, I've never seen Catholic churches do what Christian churches do. When I was little, I thought they was the same. Yeah, they're not quite the same. They're not. Thank you, David. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I don't think they're the same. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, so once again, I think, yeah, a lot of these churches are just, a hot mess. And, I just think we definitely are moving in the wrong direction with churches. I saw this video of this woman talking about how a lot of men don't attend these churches because I think men are smart when it comes to that. I think they're smart. You realize what's going on. And why would you keep subjecting yourself to something that you realize is either false teachings or you realize that they're just out here to finesse you for your money, And even a lot of the pastors understand that they're missing out on some money because a lot of the men are walking away and they're not they're missing that demographic. They're not getting that money. If a bunch of men come back to the church, yeah, and then even to the point where I think it was the Jamal Bryant guy saying we need to get men back in the church. What do we need to do? What he said, he alluded to something about selling weed or something. I don't know what the hell he was saying. I don't know if y'all heard that, alluding to something to try to get the men back in the church because you're missing out on that money. If y'all can get the men back in and giving them tithes, that's more money for y'all. And I thought it was sad to believe or insinuate that, oh, we gonna lure men with some weed because all men smoke weed. Like, oh my God, that was crazy. And like, what? But to me, that would be even more of a way to not go. Because like, what are you saying? That's an insult. That's insulting to assume that, child. But yeah, yep. Frank G. Life, exactly. I mean, come on. And I done seen enough to see that these people are insane. Anyway, y'all, I got one more clip I want to share with y'all. Then we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right. But let's move on, y'all, to this. Here we go.
Ready?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
I tried to grab a robe real quick so you didn't go past me.
I was about to say, I just saw you sit down and then tie something.
Yes, I was tying my robe. At least I could throw some clothes.
Download the Kendra G Singles dating app now, where you can find real love and your person. Available on iPhones and Android phones. Okay. Britt, where you calling me from?
I'm here in Atlanta.
ATL.
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
35. ATL. You have any kids?
Yes, I have 5.
You have 5 kids, really?
Yes.
Okay, how old are your 5 kids?
I have a new one. So he's 3 months. Then I have 16, 13, 9, and 4.
Okay. How are they all by the same guy?
No, I'm divorced, and the last 2 had the same dad.
So the 3-month has the same dad as a 4-year-old?
Correct.
Well, why y'all not together? The baby's only 3 months.
Because so I was gone for a little while, and
what do you mean you was gone for a little while?
I got in a little trouble by mistake, but yeah. So
where did you go?
To jail, Kendra.
Wait a minute, you went to jail?
Yes, but it was a self-defense situation, and it's a court case that I'm fighting right now. So I don't really want to speak too much on it.
Okay, so we'll leave that alone. But can I get the time confirmation?
Okay, so as soon as I got out, it was only 8 months. But as soon as I mean, 8 months was a long time. But as soon as I got out, I had a baby. So
you were in jail pregnant?
No, as soon as I got out, like literally.
So when you got out, you got pregnant.
There we go.
Okay, and you had, but it was by the man you had a 4-year-old with.
Yeah.
So okay, well.
So the thing is, okay, so I tried to give him a chance when I got out. Like, okay.
Well, look at the smirk on her face. Y'all notice that? She's giggly laughing the whole goddamn time. Like this is a joke to her. Oh my God. She's laughing. She's like, this is a game. But it's like, you know, this was happening when you hear women talk about this because you know this looks bad. So she's just laughing and smiling like, oh, please don't eat me up in the comments, basically what they thinking. You know this is bad, but you laughing like, you know, it's the game. Like, whatever, you know, it don't matter. I went to jail, got out, got pregnant. You know, I got, you know, like they know this is bad, but why are you smiling? You shouldn't be smiling at all. But they know what they're doing. This is all I'm saying. You know what you're doing and you know this is bad. Let's continue.
Let's see if it works out. And while I was pregnant, I found out some stuff that shouldn't have happened. And he hadn't even come to his baby's birth, so he's not around. Is not going to be an issue with anybody. So yeah, just a situation.
Okay, I have another question.
Go ahead.
So, okay, so y'all broke up before you had the baby.
Correct.
Okay, so he's not involved in either one of the kids' lives?
No.
Okay, and when did you get divorced?
I got divorced it was finalized in 2023.
Okay, so basic. Ooh, Brittany, girl.
I know.
Can I ask this? Okay, you don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna respect it because you're going through the case. So we got Brittany, 35, Atlanta, mind to 5, by 2 men, 3 by her ex-husband, 2 by her last child's father. What do you do for a living?
I do hair. I'm in school full time for business because I'm gonna open up a few salons. And I do Spark sometimes, and a full time mom, doing a lot.
So you do hair, and what's the other job?
Spark with Walmart. I do that sometimes.
What is that? I don't know.
A delivery driver. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hair delivery driver, and you said something else. You get child support?
Oh my, no, don't nobody help me. Girl. Nobody but God. We making it.
No, you can put them on child support. I know men hate when I say this, but I think child support is the #1 birth control, because if every woman holds their child's father financially responsible for the child that they create, they would stop having babies all the time, because they would know that they would financially, because it would hurt them in the pockets. One of the reasons why men keep procreating so much is because women be like, I ain't got time for that. No, because first of all, the money ain't even about you. It's literally about...
It's about the baby.
It's about the baby. And I'm a product. And let me say this. I stand by this because I'm a product of a 2-parent income, right? Mm-hmm. And I watch my friends who moms, you know, their fathers weren't financially responsible. And I would have more opportunity because I just had a 2-parent income situation. So... I mean, listen, and then fellas, this will also, you know, make you wiser to not let a woman trap you to have a baby. So no, I believe that women, let me backtrack. If there's a man, because child support is only necessary when the father's not being a father. Like a father can be a father, financially be a father. I know men who are not on child support who, if they were on child support, will end up paying less. Like that's how much they go above and beyond in their situation. It didn't work out with the child's mother, but they understand that there's a financial obligation as well as a emotional and being a parent obligation. And then some men will say, well, give me the baby. And that could be an option too. Like some men are like, I'll raise the baby if you can't raise the baby, all those things. But never feel bad for holding a man financially.
She just said they're on child support, but does she get any? Do they work? She said they're on child support. Let's see if she finished that statement. Let's see.
Financially
Kendra kept
responsible
talking.
for the child he helped you create. And I stand by that.
I agree.
So there we have it. Now back.
So they're not gonna finish. She said they are on child support, but they must not work. So she's not getting anything if they don't work. They have to work. So if they're on child support and they don't work, what happens? There's nothing to get, right? Child, let's continue.
Brittany, 35, mom to 5, by 2 men, in Atlanta. What's your zodiac sign?
A Libra.
A Libra. All right, and is a Libra. All right, girlfriend. Now I gotta say this. You got a 3-month-old. What would you say to the guy that might be
3-month-old? Kendra, wait a minute, Kendra. But Kendra, come on, baby. 3-month-old. Wait, is the child 3 months or a year old? The child is 3 months old. Why do people say that? 3-month-old. A 3-month-old. I guess she made a mistake. Let's continue. 3 months? What? I mean, God damn. Let's continue.
concerned that you have such a young child?
I mean, he shouldn't be concerned.
Yes, he should be concerned, ma'am. Captain Caveman, thank you for the super chat. It says she had a few church plates in 35 years of eating. Child. Oh my God. Right. I mean, thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. Child, what man is going to take you seriously with a 3-month-old? A baby. Just saying. I'm just saying. And it's more. It ain't just that one. It's more. 5 of them. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Let's continue.
Come with 5 kids, and that's just what it is. You either can handle it or you can't.
You
so
can't.
if you can't, just don't come by me.
And they won't.
Okay, well,
and they won't. And they won't.
And they won't. Just saying. They won't. They won't. They won't. These men are not falling for it in 2026. They're not trying to take on a 5-time baby mama and a 3-month-old child. They won't. The most they're gonna try to do is clap them cheeks if you let them. Oh my God! They don't want to be tied down with you. They don't. Just say it.
Let's continue.
Everybody.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, she is telling you it is what it is. And if you don't want to deal with it, you keep it going. Fair enough. Now let's get to it. What kind of man are you looking for?
A leader.
A generous one. Generous.
Somebody strong. Someone who doesn't just know God, actually the Lord. He actually has
Oh, Lord, come on now. Wait a minute. Hold up.
Wait a minute. Let me put some process in it. Like what?
Why do they all Lord, please, Lord, and I'm not trying to be mean. Lord, you know I got a good heart, Lord. You know I'm not a mean person. I'm not mean. Ladies, I'm not trying to be mean. Y'all, this is some shit right here. I'm just saying. Why does God always come up? He gotta be, you done been to jail. You got children out of wedlock. You're doing God knows what, and now God? He gotta be godly. He gotta have all his shit together, and you out here just reckless as all outdoors. Like, come on. Please stop doing that. Ma'ams, just stop bringing God into it. God ain't got nothing to do with this ratchet foolishness. Captain Caveman, thank you once again for the super chat. Says, if I invested more in tissue and prono, I swear my child wouldn't be here today. Oh my God. Thank you, Captain Caveman. A mess. Oh my God. A mess. Successfully says her name should be Kendra F. Foolish, a clown. Baby, I don't thank you, Successful MD child. I just, this is why I love reacting to the Kendra G stuff, because it's just funny. It's entertainment. It's for entertainment purposes at this point. It's just funny as shit. Some of the stuff you can't make up. Some of the stuff you would never see. I mean, you would see it if you're around it. You know, this is the kind of stuff I probably saw as a child, as a young person, but I don't see it now because I don't dwell in the hoods, you know, with the hoods activity. You know, but I grew up in the hood activity, but I wouldn't be surrounded by it now because I just don't have time and I don't want to have no parts of it. But child, this is the best place to see it, you know, on social media, on YouTube, because this is a hot mess. Look like she in charge of stirring the grits. Oh my God. Wait a minute. You hairnet on, right? She gotta put the hairnet on though, right? She missing the hairnet. That's all she missing, stirring them damn grits. Oh my God. What's wrong with you? Calvin Caveman, I think you've been dropped on your head. I'm just saying. You are a hot mess. God. No, you didn't. No, you didn't say that. Damn, that made me think of the cafeteria lady when I was going to school. Oh, Lord. That is a shame. You wrong for that. Calvin Caveman, I don't know. You've been dropped on your head, bro. Thank you, though. Y'all appreciate you. Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. He a fool. Successful Woman said Dee and her passport bear deep voiceover, child. Oh, my God. That man said she looked like she's in charge of stirring the grits. Oh, my God. I can't unsee it. All she needs is a hairnet halfway on her head. And there you go. Y'all a trip. Thank y'all for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. A mess. A mess, a mess, a mess. Oh, my God. Crazy as hell. You know who she looked like a little bit? She looked like Ari Lennox a little bit, in my opinion. She like Ari Lennox a little bit. A little bit. Let's continue.
Relationship with him, and somebody who's into working out, fitness, because I want to get in shape, you know, so I gotta get bounce back. So yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I read 2 paid comments real quick?
Girl. Sure.
Okay, so Sam said they don't file for child support because they get pregnant by broke dudes.
Ooh!
Read between the lines. Oh, damn, Sam.
Yeah.
Were your baby daddies broke?
Yep.
I mean, the first one was, I married young. The second one, he had some money, then he lost it, like with our first baby. You know, he went through life. But, you know, that's why I make sure this time I don't pick another broke one.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess Sam
was right.
I filed for child support. So that's, yeah.
You did
I
file
hold
for
these men accountable. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just not
There's
receiving
another
it
one.
right
I
now.
can't find it to
She
bring
ain't
it on
getting
the stage, but she's the royal hey child, something like that. She spent $5 to say men avoid child support all the time. I know some men who intentionally don't keep jobs to avoid paying it. Pick better ladies.
Exactly. So
Well,
we mess up. You're gonna keep messing up or you're gonna fix it. My thing is to fix it now. We're trying to fix things.
Okay, we're trying to fix things. All right. So let's keep going. Was that all?
Yeah, but yeah, okay. Shout out to you for trying to fix it, but you got to start with you. Now you're on the Kendra G show looking for another man. Now you don't want him to be broke. So you looking for a man with more resources, but you know, certain things you can't fix. You can't undo your kids. The kids are a blessing, I will say. But you can't undo your kids. The kids are innocent. These kids you don't know what you're coming into as a child. So the kids are always innocent in my book anyway. The kids are innocent. They have nothing to do with our choices and what you bring them into. That's all you. So the kids are always innocent. These kids don't ask for this shit. They don't know what they're coming into. So I don't blame the kids. The kids are here. Now, the way you fix it is not going to require another man to come in and take care of you and all your kids. No. Well, how you fix it is you focus on you and your kids. You better yourself and learn better and do better for your kids. And if you holding the guys accountable, I said she said she filed for the child support, but she ain't getting none because they deadbeat broke men. That's what she's saying. They're deadbeat brokes who you chose to have a child with. You didn't care about any of that. You're just trying to get to the D. That's what they say. You got to the D, and now you got to deal with the D. Deal with the D, and the outcomes of dealing with just going for the D. Now you got children with men who don't want to be a part of their children's lives, don't take care of them, and now it's all on you. So the way you fix that, you got to fix it with you. Successful MD says she needs a sponsor for her AAU travel team, kids. Yeah, and these men don't want to do that. Thank you, Successful MD. They don't want to be your sponsor, baby. Kappa K Man says, why not? You didn't require them to have jobs to clap. Exactly. And now you got to deal with the consequences. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Yeah, so that ain't nobody. You got to fix you first. You can't put requirements on stable men with standards. You can't do that. You can't do that. That ain't gonna happen. Successful MD says, do you think baby kids are a blessing? I think the kids are a blessing. The children don't know what they're coming into. Successful MD. You know, listen, even if they bad, look, that's the parents. That's a problem with the parenting. You know what I'm saying? If your kids are not, that's your problem because you didn't raise them right. Shit, the kids are innocent. You know what I mean? You gotta fix that too. Thank you, Successful MD. Hell yeah, the bad kids. That's from a lack of parenting. You don't know how to parent your kids and not having stable parents. They don't know. They only know what you teach them or the lack thereof. If you don't teach them right, raise them right, they're gonna do what they do based off of what they got. That's it. You know, but ain't nobody else got to tolerate the baby kids. Ain't nobody else got to deal with them. So, you know, that's why I said, if you have standards and you know what you want, ain't no men out here going pick ain't not doing it. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
All your requirements before we go to your deal breakers?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, what are your deal breakers?
Deal breakers is disrespectful men, men that don't know how to communicate. I really don't want any men that have like small kids because I feel like I got enough. So I'm not trying to, play stepmom. His mom role is a big thing. So, his kids can be grown. So yeah.
Okay. Kids can be grown. Should he look a certain way?
Kendra, I know you're not gonna gloss. This girl said she don't want no small kids and she got a 3-month-old.
Oh my God.
Are you the audacity, child? Captain K Man, thank you for the super chat. Once again, says the kids are a dressing, not a blessing for that ham salad pookie toss. LOL.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you, Captain K Man. A mess, child. Let's continue.
I really want some chocolate now because the past is like caramel and light skin. They've been their feelings too much. So kind of something chocolate, tall. You don't have to be 6 foot, but taller than
girl. It shouldn't matter if he chocolate, vanilla, orange, purple, 4 feet. It shouldn't matter, honey. Any man, in my opinion, that will be willing to take on you and your kids and be there for you with all of this, it shouldn't matter what he looked like. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter how tall he is. None of that shouldn't even matter. If he's willing to come and take you on and all them, you should just be grateful. I'm just saying. As long as he's a decent guy, he's not trying to come and harm nobody. A decent guy, it shouldn't matter his height or any of that. His color, his skin, none of that should matter. I'm just saying. Captain K-Man says, I ain't wrapped too tight to Captain K-Man. I'm realizing that right now. I realize you a fool, for real. I realize that now. Thank you for letting me know, for clarifying, Captain K-Man. Nah, I'm just playing though. But thank you. I appreciate you though. But I see you. I see you.
me. I'm 5'5". Yeah.
Okay. So you make a certain amount of money?
You just need to be able to take care of a family because I pretty much already started. So if you're gonna mess around with me, you need to be able to afford me. No more brokes. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. So, is the expectation he's taking care of you and your 5 kids?
Yeah, because that's what leaders do. Like and some men they find out that they have 5 kids. I know she's gonna need some help. I know I want to take care of them. I want to do.
No, that's not a leader. That's a simp. That's a foolish man. That'd be a foolish man who would just come in just willy-nilly ready. Oh, here I am, Captain Saber 304. You know what I mean? Here I go. Here I come.
Here I come to save the day. I'm going to save you from all of your poor decisions. Here I come. I'm Captain Saber. I got you. I'm here. What you need me to do? Come on. You're the prize. I'm here. Let's get it going. Give me the 3-month-old. I'm going to feed him. I'm going to take care of him, clothe him. Where are all the other 4? Come on, kids. Let's go shopping. She going to take you shopping. He going to take the kids. He going to do everything while the poopy dad is going to pop up and be like, who is this nigga?
Oh my God.
And she going to say, that's my man. And he going to be like, get that nigga away from my kids. She going to be like, well, he gotta see his kids. And you gotta say, sure. I'm just a man in the house with the money, and I'll take care of y'all. I'm gonna put you in the house. I'm gonna be here to the end. Well, go ahead, kids. Go away with your pookie daddies, and he gonna see you only cause I'm here. But he ain't gonna buy you a goddamn thing. He gonna just see you and say, yeah, that's mine, and send you back home with nothing, and Captain Save a Man Ho, I'm here. I'm gonna take care of y'all and buy your school clothes and do everything. And he gonna brag about he your daddy, but I'm just here, the man to take care of you. I'm Captain Save a Ho. That's what they're looking for.
That's what they're looking for. You ain't gonna have no say. You can't touch them kids. I don't mean like touching in a bad. I'm saying like discipline them. Nothing, because they already got a daddy. The daddies are not good enough. They don't take care of them, but he will be granted the right to be able to see his kids and chastise them, because she gonna co-sign that for sure. Oh, that's his kid. So what do you expect? But he ain't taking care of them. She put him on child support, but they don't pay. You ain't getting nothing. No support. But a new man gonna come in. Now all of a sudden he gonna want to see the kids, and she gonna let him while you taking care of them. Like nobody. Hey, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell to the no. Up here with the modern day big mama gown trying to date. Right. Yeah. I'm surprised they be coming on here with bonnets too, Captain Caveman. Bonnets and stuff with all this stuff. That's baggage, man. Ain't nobody smart trying to do that. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, this is insanity, though.
You know what a man's supposed to be doing. He want to show me the right thing, so that's what I want.
So you want the next man to be a better daddy than the kid's actual father,
right?
A better father figure. I'm not asking you to be
well, no, not father figure, provider too, because you want the expectation for the third guy.
Yeah, and provider. Yes.
So you want the third man to be a better daddy to your children than their actual fathers.
Yes.
Okay, let me say this. And I say this with all respect. No one, okay, your kids come into this world, they have DNA of one woman and one man. So I'm not looking for anyone to replace the fathers because they already have fathers, but to be a great father figure and complete our family. Yeah.
But a father figure with figures, because you're saying he has to be able to provide for the children. So how much money do you think he has to make in order to be able to support? Now, let's just say it's 5 kids plus you, so that's 6 people. So what is the expectation? Like when you say provider, what does provider mean to you?
I don't want you trying to move into my home. I want you to, be able to establish a home for us. Like we work together and get a home together. Like it's okay. So I'm in Atlanta. You'll start talking to somebody. They're like, "Oh, I want to move in. Oh, I want to come over for 3 days and spend a night." And no, I don't want to do that. So I just want someone who wants to take their time, who knows how to build a home, and specifically build it from him. We're creating a new foundation.
So have a home big enough for you, and you have 5 kids, right? I'm assuming they would at least have their own room, or maybe 2 would share.
We need like a 5-bedroom, I'm coming from a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So we need like a 5-bedroom.
Well, maybe 6, because what if he has 1 child?
Oh yeah, 6 then. But I prefer him, not to have any small kids. We have enough. We'll have enough.
This is some shit right here. Go ahead, Kendra. Draw the man. Yes.
You said you got a 4-year-old, a 3-month-old,
draw the man,
a 16, 13, and 9-year-old, and you said you don't want him to have no small kids.
Draw the man,
and you want him.
That would be exactly right.
What's your mailing address? There you go. How the hell you gonna ask a man to take care financially for you and 5 kids, but he can't? You wouldn't even love on a child.
You know what? No, it's not that I would love on him, because if he's a great man, and a man sent from God, I'm gonna have to accept what he comes with, right?
No. The great man that you talking about sent from God, no, that ain't happening, man. Why would God send a great man to you when you haven't done any great things? If you talking about God, wouldn't God send a great man to a great woman who has her priorities straight and doing the right things? No, this is why I say a lot of these women are delusional. I'm just saying, they're delusional as shit, as hell. Successful MD says she wants a dark step fool and a step stool for 100K, right? You want some? Yeah, that ain't happening, Cap. And look, if she get it, well, you know, if she get that type of man, then he's foolish. Then that you go, whatever you get is what you get. Thank you, Successful MD. Captain Caveman says 5 kids and no home. Ain't got a pot to stir grits in and a window to throw it out. Man, please. A pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. Right. That's where it comes. She ain't got a pot of she ain't got a pot to stir grits. Right. Who grits she was stirring? Somebody else's? Oh, you said she looked like she's supposed to be stirring. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. But see, thank you, Captain Caveman. But see, this is why this is delusional. And it makes it, when you hear it in real time, it makes you see how delusional this is. And they probably realize it too. Like, come on now, all these kids, you didn't require these other men. They don't even pay child support. Now you want this man to come with a 5-6 bedroom, whatever. If you don't want him with no kids, no small kids. You got small kids. So he got to come completely in taking care of you and all your kids. And you want the most? Like, no, they realize this. Nobody ain't signing up for this shit. If somebody would have signed up for it, you would have it already. That's why they got to come on to Kendra G, because ain't nobody accepting it. Let's continue.
If he's financially stable the way I expect him to be.
The way you expect him to be.
No, he's going to be. Then, okay, he's doing what he needs to do to take care of all the kids. And so that's fine. That's fine.
He don't need to do that, though. He don't need to do that.
I don't want the whole football team. I already got half of it.
Lord.
How much? Okay, we got a couple of paid questions now, girl. Now, okay. Okay, Wayne said, is this an April Fool's joke? Is she looking for us, or is she looking for a cent? Okay, today is literally April Fool's Day, and some people are asking seriously, are you joking?
No, for real.
She dead serious, baby. She ain't joking. Successful MD says she spent her bonnet army sign-on bonus AWOL. Oh my God. Damn. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Ernie Potts, thank you so much for the super chat. Says just help the girl change her tire. Okay. She kept telling me I was doing it wrong. What? I loosened the bolts and left her ass on the side of the road. Oh my God. Why you do that? Oh my God. Lord have mercy. So you helped the girl change her tire. She kept telling you was doing it wrong. So you loosened the bolts and you left her on the side. Baby, Lord have mercy. She didn't know how to. So how you don't know how to do it. Somebody helping you and you try to tell them, let them do what they do. Like, good child, listen. Thank you, Ernie Potts, for that story and for your super chat and for your support. I appreciate you. Damn, it's hard out in these streets, baby. I would not want to be no single woman in these streets with this foolishness, baby. Listen, thank you. I appreciate you. Child, they crazy. Baby. Successful MD says she graduated with honors with Tia at Umar School. Now that's not bad. Oh my God. That's child, and we know that's a trap bando. It ain't even a school. So if you graduate from child, you ain't learned the goddamn thing. Oh period. We know they ain't learned the goddamn thing. So you get what you get. Y'all a trip. Baby, let's continue.
Oh, and Wayne looked like a little simp. So, you know, like, yeah.
Okay, so, you are confirming that this is not an April Fool's joke for you. You really mean this?
Yes.
Okay, we have some more, but the way it's working, I can't see the questions like I used to. Someone said, draw the household, Kendra. We already drew the guy, so I already did that, girl. Anyways, Kendra's giving baby doll. Oh, thank you. Girlfriend. So how much money you think this man got to make?
You know, everybody like to say 6 figures, but
so I gotta wait. Okay, no, go ahead.
Maybe like 800,000.
Oh, this is April Fool's joke.
Girl, did this girl say 800,000?
You are being
girl.
Now I know you're
Okay, look.
800,000.
Listen, stop it, Kendra. Okay, he needs not to work at a fast food restaurant. He needs to.
We know the bar is set low. She said he not working at a fast food restaurant, honey. Oh, we know you working. You got babies with people who were really at the bottom. If that's you got. So he needs to not work at a fat. So yeah, we know you come from the slums or the bottom of the barrel for real. You going from there to 800,000, girl. That is an April Fool's joke. C. Irving, thank you for the super chat. Says this is delusion at its finest, DeeDee. What type of man with a pulse is signing up to do life with this type of woman? Right. But they gonna realize it. Well, that's why they don't get the outcomes they're looking for. Thank you, C. Irvin. I appreciate you. Capricorn Man, once again, thank you for the super chat. Says, I'll take her. I'm financially stable. I need a few people to cut my grass, wash dishes, take out garbage, clean toilets, and feed the dog. I have a garbage they can stay in. A garage. I mean, you say you got a garage they can stay in with bags of grits to feed them. Now I know you lying. That is where the kids gonna go. Captain K Man, where the kids gonna go? No, you didn't. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate it. Where the kids gonna go, Captain K Man? The kids gotta stay somewhere. Are they gonna stay in the garage with her? She gotta earn her keep. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Successfully says it's called Imaginary University School of Grift. Right. And they still didn't learn nothing, child. That's crazy. Y'all a mess. Captain Caveman, where the kids gonna go? Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you.
I don't even want the general manager because that's not gonna be enough. Okay, I'm gonna say 80,000. 80,000.
Okay, I want to go on record because I want people think sometimes that I do skits on my show. This is not a skit. This is not a skit. I am meeting this woman in real time, right, just like y'all are meeting her in real time. I'm going to ask you again because now I think you're joking. Are you trolling me?
No.
So you as a woman, okay, you know, I say this with all due respect.
Before my ex started, the last two daddy, before he started acting up, he was making $90K a year. Seriously.
Okay, well that was the daddy, and that was the man you probably should have figured it out with.
Right.
No, I ain't even gonna put out his business on here, but no.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You said earlier you don't want a man to move in with you, but you want to be able to move in with a man with 5 kids.
Mm-hmm. Not move in with him because he might have had women in there. We need to start over and create a new foundation.
And how much do you want to financially contribute to the monthly bills, or you don't want to financially contribute? Like, what would that look like for you?
I want one of the ones that's like, I don't need you to work. I need you to be at home.
Girl, sit your ass. Girl, stop. Sean Rise, I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the super chat. Says she needs to do a 100-yard dash in a 90-yard room. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you for being here and for the super chat. Captain Caveman says, kids gonna go to work and protect my cars in the... Oh my God. I'm not, because I don't want to scream laugh. I don't want to scream laugh. And I don't want you to do that to them goddamn children.
Captain Caveman, don't do that to that damn children. The children are innocent, I said. Why would you, Captain Caveman, why would you do that to the kids? You a hot mess. Anyway.
That's wrong. Don't do that to them kids, child. No, I ain't with you on that one. Don't do that to the... Let's continue, child.
Take care of the kids, cook, clean the house, screw me when I say screw me. The things that, like back in the days.
Get trying.
You email it?
Kendra. Right. The Lord knows who I need. He
Girl, no, the Lord ain't got a goddamn thing.
The Lord, let me tell you something.
He already died on the cross for me and died for my sins. I already did my repenting. Repentance means to change.
Girl,
so with that being said,
she's delusional as hell.
Can't nobody judge me for the past.
Girl,
move forward.
Ooh,
okay, listen.
Damn, they don't have to judge you. They don't have to say a goddamn thing. They just don't choose you. Oh my God.
They don't choose you. You heard me? They don't choose you. They ain't gotta judge. They ain't gotta do a goddamn thing. That's the point. They won't choose you. This is why you on Kendra G now. They ain't gotta look your way. You feel me?
That's the whole point. They don't have to choose you. They don't. It ain't got nothing to do with God. God don't have nothing to do with this. People gonna make their own decisions and choices. Ain't no man of substance and standards. You gonna have to go get somebody at McDonald's. Hell, shit. Project 007, 007. Thank you for the super chat. Says if she ain't on drugs, she needs to be. At least there would be an excuse for her delusion. LOL. Exactly. This is strictly delusional. This is a fairy tale. They really think that they can manifest the type of life they want, even with the poor choices. Oh, it's just I can get this. Oh my God, I want one of them who don't care about none of that. Well, girl, he gonna go get him a woman with no kids. You think he gonna go with a woman with 5? And a 3-month-old? No. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Captain K-Man again says, I'll be nice to the kids and buy her a rose. Cause she damn sure ain't getting none from me. Everybody earning their keep though. everybody gotta earn their keep. Got it. Thank you, Captain K-Man. I appreciate it. Successful MD says, I think Satan would run from her and the kids. Child. I know you right. Child, yeah. Ain't nobody, yeah. The devil himself said, oh no, I don't want it. You can have it, ma'am. Ain't nobody judging. They just like, nah, I see what this is and I want no parts of it. Girl, y'all, this is why I say for the women, the young women coming up who don't have no kids, and y'all, you better start taking heed to the truth and what's real and not go and let these McDonald's workers knock you up, these pookies, and then you sitting around here in this situation. Don't do it. Don't do it. You better vet properly and find a man who is serious about wanting you and wanting a life with you and building with you, a man that you can work with, because y'all gonna be in this situation. Pay attention to the women before you and the mistakes that they made so you don't put yourself in that situation, honey. Don't do it. It's not beneficial. It's really not. And that's all I'm saying. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Says her brain cells turn to fat cells. Well, we see the big backs. It's all going to the back. We see it. We got eyes. We can see the big backs, the brain cells, the fat cells go right into the back. Thank you, Sean Rise. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
We all listen. Nobody's perfect, right? So that's not the case. But y'all be using God for everything. God be like, Paul, come look at this. Paul, come look at David. Come look at this. Y'all use God for everything. They got a story too. But here's the great thing. A man ain't God. Right. We're not talking about God. We're talking about a man. And the likelihood, listen, nothing's impossible. So I will say that. Nothing's impossible. And I say this with all due respect, but not only are you a mom of 5, okay, that's one thing. So he has to be able to look past that. You have a 3-month-old, that's one thing, and a 4-year-old, he has to look past that. You also were once in jail for 8 months. He has to get through all of that. So a man that could legitimately afford to provide for 6 people, including you, why does he choose you when he has all these other women to choose?
That's between him and the Lord, Okay. That's gonna be my luck. God is great.
Okay. So we went from 800K to 80,000.
Yeah, I was just playing about the 800, but for
you're playing about 80,
90, yeah.
And I don't know this. Is 90K a year enough to take care of really 7 people? Because
that's really manageable, but that's his. Like I said, I'm in school for business.
But you told me this is what you told me. You wanted him to be the provider and pay the bills of the household, correct?
Right.
So can you provide for a family? Let's say you're a family of 6, because you and 5 kids, and let's just say him and 1 child, or let's just say him and no child. How about that? Is 90K enough to take care of 7 people in Atlanta?
I'm trying to be reasonable.
Girl, how much you
Well,
want?
Okay, so one side. So you know what I like to do? Let's take the emotion out of it. Let's just make it a math equation, because I think if we talk about it in math terms, we can get to a better understanding. So in Atlanta, and y'all can tell me if I know this or not, because the expectation for you, you said, is you want him to pay like the mortgage and the rent completely, or would you help with that?
I pay the
You're
water.
gonna have to help.
Okay, so you'll pay the water. So it'll be his
The
responsibility to
water?
take care of the mortgage or
Girl,
the
you got to
rent,
pay
right?
more than the water,
Correct.
baby.
So
Girl.
is a salary of
No,
90K
you're gonna need
enough to
more.
take? And I'm doing this with, he don't got no kid, right? I'm doing this him one, and then
She gonna have
you.
to help.
So you're 6 people. He's one. That's 7. Is 90K enough to take care of 7 humans a year in Atlanta?
For now, it is.
Okay.
We can suffice. Like we can make it work. You can find a house in that okay, I'm not gonna say a mortgage, so we didn't buy the house. We found one for sale. And you can find in the areas that I've been looking in, yeah, you can find one for maybe like 2,100 to 2,300, like honestly.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Let's
wait
do
a minute. She said for sale, like buying it straight out. What did she say? Hold on, let me go back a second.
You can find a house in that okay, I'm not gonna say a mortgage, so we
No
didn't buy the house. We found one for sale. And you can find in the areas that I've been looking in, yeah, you can find one for maybe like 2,100 to 2,300, like honestly.
So if for 2,100 to 2,300, so she's saying no mortgage, so they're gonna buy it right out. So if a mortgage is between 21 to 2,300 a month, how much is the price of the house? Wouldn't a house can y'all help me out? Like what for that amount a month? Well, if what she talking about? Well, what would you be paying if you paid 21 to 3? She said no mortgage. So does she mean renting or does she mean buying a house right out? Because she said no mortgage. So what she mean, renting? Or which, because if you buy the house out, then that means you got to pay the full price of the house. How much is a house with that type of note? This day and age, to be paying 20, that house could be $300,000-$400,000 with a note of 2,300 a month, depending on where you live, right? Somewhere, I don't know exactly. Depending on where they're in Atlanta. So so what is she talking about? Do y'all understand what she's saying? Hold on. She talking about renting? Right. She has no idea what she's talking. Right. What is she talking about? Renting. She must be talking about renting. Hold on.
Find in the areas that I've been looking in, yeah, you can find one for maybe like
okay.
We can suffice. Like we can make it work.
She don't know what the hell she's talking about. So she said no
find a
mortgage.
house in that okay, I'm not gonna say a mortgage, so we didn't buy the house. We found one for sale. And you can find
for sale
in the areas that I've been looking in, yeah, you can find one for maybe like 2,100 to 2,300, like honestly.
About renting.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do the
because she said for sale and then she said no mortgage. So that means to me, if you're saying no mortgage and for sale, you want to buy the house right out. And y'all ain't got that, y'all got $300,000-$400,000 or whatever the house might be, whatever the cost might, maybe it's 200,000. I don't know. But she must be talking about for rent. Okay. It's Eric TV. Thank you for the super chat. Says she need to stop giving advice because she can't get a man, child. Period. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Ooh, Lord. Successful MD says she might as well click her heels and flap her arms 3 times, right? Because it ain't happening, Captain. Right. Thank you, Successful MD. Child, Lord, have mercy. 87 Steven says she looks like she lives in a high rise in the hood and complains about maintenance. Oh my God. Thank you, 87 Stevens, for the super chat. I appreciate the support. Captain Caveman says, how much Section 8 covering? EBT got the food. Right. You're probably correct, for sure. That's probably what she already getting now. So if the man comes, he got to pay all of the bills that she probably don't even pay. You're absolutely right. Probably. Exactly. Thank you, Captain Caveman, once again, child. Let's continue.
Kendra Cam.
And here go to Kendra.
Okay, y'all, I got on the road, but I'm gonna stand on this sofa and show you just a little bit. Y'all can see some legs.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay. That will suffice for the Kendra Cam. When was your last relationship?
My baby's 3 months. About a year ago, almost.
Okay. When's the last time you seen that child's father? Do y'all communicate at all?
No, we don't. It was when I was pregnant, but like I said, we ended up going our separate ways, and he decided not to show. I mean, I let him know, hey, the baby's being born, and he decided not to show up. And
You let him know.
hey,
this is bad.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
With him having the baby.
With him when you got pregnant.
She let him know she was having the baby, so he didn't know. So that sounds like just hit it and quit it. Like, oh, we just had a good time and you got pregnant. He wasn't. She got out of jail and got pregnant. So she went and screwed some dude that wasn't nothing serious and got pregnant, and boom. He didn't even know. She had to tell him. So he wasn't there around her. She was screwing him a little bit while she was pregnant, allegedly. And that was that. It was a hookup. It wasn't nothing serious. And now you want a man to take you serious. Child. You know, and they don't think about it. You know what I mean? And it's not even a laughing matter, y'all. This is something that is serious. And now you look at, let's continue.
Yeah.
So last time you had sex was when you actually got pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
Like some months while I was pregnant, but I haven't had any intercourse afterwards.
And after that, he ghosted.
Like we was like trying to work it out the first few months, and then yeah.
And so he could care less that you was having his child. He didn't want to stick around and be there for his child. It's not there for the child, could care less. These are the men that they give the babies to. The men who could care less. That just was interested in screwing you 9 ways from Sunday, and then that's it. And then you by yourself. And now you want a man to come in and take on those child. That's crazy. That's really sad when you think about it. It's really sad.
This is when you got out of jail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
My mouth. I can be snappy. Procrastination. And being so judgmental. Because I don't want to be judged. So I have to watch my mouth with that.
Okay. She doesn't want to be judged, so she got to watch her mouth for that. And why would a man be lucky to be with you, Britt?
I'm a strong woman. I'm a great mom. I believe and have a relationship with Jesus Christ. I'm just always working to improve myself and be a better person, and I'm real.
And she's real. Okay, Britt, am I calling you? Why do I have Crystal written down? No, that's the wrong thing. Girl, I done draw and can't find your page.
But she don't believe what she's saying. That's why she laughing, child. When you hear somebody, you know, when I'm saying something, I'm just don't be like, when you see people laughing while they talk, you don't believe what you're saying. You don't take yourself seriously. What's funny? Ain't nothing funny about this situation. She's just saying it, but she don't believe it herself. She really don't. It's Eric TV. Thank you for the super chat. Says high demands look like a hot mess, right? Oh my God. But they don't see that. You know, you just want what you want, and somebody gonna give it to you in their minds. You know. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, she don't believe what she's saying. That's why it's a joke. That's why she laughing like, oh, any fucker that comes take me on, bless his heart, because he's in for a rude awakening. But as long as I get what I want, I don't care. You know, just want some unsuspecting. You get one, they be like, "Ooh, girl, I got me one." You get you know, they waiting for a sucker to come and come into that life, and they just gonna be so happy, you know. Crazy.
I done drew your man, and to try to draw your man, I done lost. Here we go. Brittany is 35 in Atlanta, mom of 5. Was 3 are by your ex-husband, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 3 by her ex-husband, 2 by her last man. She does hair. She also does delivery, and she's looking for a provider man because in the name of the Lord, that's what a man is supposed to do, because God is real and he answers prayers. She is now a changed woman, Christian woman now, correct?
Yes.
You going to church?
I mean, yes, I go to church every Sunday.
Okay.
I've been a Christian. I mean, we all fall short of his glory, you know.
Right.
raise a child so that when they do stray, they know where to come back to. So I strayed, and now I'm going, back to my father.
Back to her father. Now, do you have a no sex to marriage rule, or that's not how you're not that much of a Christian?
No, I don't want to have any more sex to marriage. I want to really get to know a person. I'm so serious. I know you draw your little stick figure all you want to, Kendra, but like when you really commit yourself to Jesus and you change your ways, like that man who's saved and who's going to be the leader, he's going to understand. I don't care what you're doing out there, Kendra. You got a beautiful smile, baby. I already knew it was coming. It's fine.
Wait. Okay. So there's no sex until marriage too.
Yeah, I don't want nobody else inside of me. I don't want them spirits inside of me. I don't want everybody. No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Oh my God.
Not another one.
Not another one.
So this man has to agree to provide for you and your 5 children.
He's gonna be heaven sent. Oh, I know. He gonna have to be heaven sent. I understand.
He gonna be what? Hesitant? No, he ain't gonna do it, honey. Hesitant? No, he ain't gonna. Once he know, they watching you now. They saying, "Oh, hell to the goddamn no."
Oh, hell to the goddamn no. No, boo. No. They already saying that.
Girl, they already saying no. Somebody said, what did they say? Captain Caveman said, old Otis will jump on that, right? And old Otis ain't gonna give you no money, ma'am. He ain't gonna go buy no house to put all them damn kids. I'm like, hell nah, they made my kids. I ain't worrying about them damn kids. Old Otis ain't gonna want it, Captain Caveman. Thank you for the super chat. Old Otis is saying hell to the
no. I don't want no blood with no 5 kids. I got my life. I'm living my life. I don't want to be bogged down with a woman with 5 kids. Nah, I go over there and tap that. And she gonna give me some. I'm gonna get some and I'm out. No, Otis don't want that either.
Shit. Otis don't want it. Ain't nobody. This is 2026, baby. People ain't trying to do that. Spend all their money. They can go get them some coochie somewhere else. And then she ain't even giving you none.
Oh my God.
She's saying, oh no, you gotta marry me until you get something. I got a 3-month-old. It don't matter. You gotta be godly and Christian and you ain't get none. So, child, no. Kendra was right to draw that man because that's the only place he exists. See, Irvin says, what imaginary money is she going to use for this home? Right. I hope she's upfront before intimacy about these financial plans for her potential sponsor. Child, but see, Irvin, she ain't got to worry about that because I don't think no man ain't signed. That man ain't signed. These men ain't signing up for that. These men are not signing up for that. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the 90s where you had all them stepdaddies. These men are moving differently. The women are different and the men are moving differently. And maybe she had one, maybe even 2. I heard a man say he'll accept 3, but 5, and then you just was with a man 3 months ago, and now you saying no intimacy, you get no nookie, you gotta have all this money, you gotta buy us a house, you gotta put us in the house or whatever, you gotta do all this. No. And then they're gonna think she crazy because she been in jail. So no, I don't think they're signing up. C. Irvin. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Captain Caveman says, old Otis will have the kids massaging his gout toe. Oh shit. Ew. Ew. Hell to the no. Nah. I don't think that's nasty, but I still don't think old Otis want her. I'm just saying. Who knows? He ain't gonna bring nothing to the table though. They had him. Ooh, no. Anyway, let's continue. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you.
Y'all think God just be sending men down in special orders?
Right.
Is that what y'all really think?
Sometimes you get what you, yeah.
Yeah, but
you got to totally put him first. You got to totally put him first. You got to totally change your ways. It can happen.
That's that manifestation talk.
So you have a 3-month-old baby. So you decided not to have. When did you start your celibacy or abstinence? Or when did you make that?
Honestly, okay.
Good question,
I was like, I know I gotta change, right? I talked to God and I said, my biggest struggle is this man. And I said, I don't have the strength to leave him. Can you make him leave? And it happened. He didn't even come to the baby's birth. So I'm like, this is it. This is the work. You know, and so that was my biggest struggle. I could tell anybody else, no, you either gonna stay around or you're not. I'm okay with that.
Okay with that. Okay. All right. So now, all right, honey. Just one last time. One last time question. You are because today's April 1st. You are not trolling me. You are very serious.
I'm not trolling you. No, I'm so serious. My name is Brittany. I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, I know you in Atlanta. I just need the rest. I just need the street address. I just need the street address, and then I can. And
you gonna send him? I'm gonna send it to you in your inbox.
This is the closest thing you gonna get to that. This is Jesus sent. Jesus, heaven sent. God work fast immediately.
You know what? I can't wait till he do it because I'm a show.
Honey, let me tell you something. I can't. Listen, I would love to see it. I don't mind being proven wrong, child. Don't nobody want to be more proven wrong than me. So if that happened, please.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to know too. Tell Kendra.
I'm gonna save it, and I will eat this man live on the show.
You better eat them all too.
I'm on, and here's the requirements. He gotta have enough money to take care of you and your you and your 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Be willing to marry you without having sex. Correct?
Correct.
You didn't have a height or look good requirement, did you?
As long as he's taller than me, a few inches. I mean, I want to be able to put on heels. And
how tall are you again?
I don't look like a giant. 5'5".
So could he be 5'8", 5'9"?
Like 5'9" and up.
5'9" and up. Okay. So yeah. And it got to be legitimate. It can't be no actor who's like, let's call Kendra. Nope. Because I'm gonna say this, y'all have to be married for some time from before. Because you can't just because you can't just
ain't gonna remember if we married.
No, because you can't just meet a guy and then call me and say it, because that could be a play. I'm gonna need y'all to have some years in before I eat this paper. But I'm gonna say, what's your name again? Brittany. Brittany's man, and I will eat this paper if she gets a real man. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna put it somewhere. Now, Brittany. Now, with that being said, are you inside the Kendra G Singles dating app?
I'm not. I need to.
Okay, you gotta download the dating app. What's your favorite number?
7.
Okay, I'm done with that, child. Baby, I sure hope she get what she look. If she get what she's looking for, I want tell Kendra so Kendra can share it, and so we can be like, oh well, damn, Brittany got the man she said she was gonna get, child. Girl, if you could get it, kudos to you. You know what I mean? You know, the men gonna be like, oh girl, he a simp. Okay, I don't care if he sign up and you got something that he like enough for him to commit to you, marry you, and take on all them damn kids. I'm gonna say kudos to you, Brittany. I would too. Because listen, you must be a good woman. You must have something good, or you must have some qualities that we don't know of that was able to help you attract a man who would come into your life and be like, she's a good woman for real. You know what I mean? She's what I want. She just happened to have 5 kids, and I was willing to take that chance, and I married her, and we got a good life. I love it. If it happened, it happened. You get it. But we have seen so much of this. And we know that it's not very likely. I always say too, anything is possible, but it's not likely. You know what I mean? But if you get it, I'm for it. I don't take pleasure in people not getting what they want. You know, this is why I tell you, hey, move a certain way so you can have a better opportunity or better chance to get what it is that you want. You know what I mean? I'm all for you getting what you want. But there's a certain way you need to go about it. And you know what I'm saying? But if you go your way and you get it, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. I don't hate on people like that. I don't need to hate. I don't have a problem with people getting what they want. But the problem is they have a problem with them not getting what they want. That's the thing. They have a problem and they blame men for them not getting what they want because the men don't want to do that. Most men are saying they don't want single mothers. They don't want women with all these kids. They don't want to take care of another man's kids. This is what men are saying. This is what men are saying loudly in 2026. They don't want to take on a woman and somebody else's. They want their own families. This is what men are saying. And I think women are still not listening to men. And they always, when you don't get what you want, the route that people tend to take is Jesus. They don't care about Jesus when they're young and busting it open and doing what they want to do. They only care when they get older and when they run out of options, you know? When you run out of options, you go to God. That's the same way with people who've been doing drugs their whole life, been hoeing for their whole life. They've been doing everything they want to do outside of God their whole life. And then when they start getting older, now they turn Christian. Now they want to go back to the Lord. Now they want to recommit themselves to Christ when they've done all their dirt. Now you're getting older. Now you want to make your peace with God. And because you're getting older, you want to make sure you're on the right side for when you die. So now you want to get right with God. Done every drug known to man, done screwed everybody you can, then did all the dirt you wanted, and you live your life to the fullest and you enjoy doing that. And then when you get 50, 60 years old, now you want to commit your life to Christ because you've done all of what you wanted. Now you want to, so you did everything outside of that. Now you want to flip the script. And that's what people tend to do. When you've run out of options, you can't hold no more. You can't do the drugs. They almost killed you. You got to stop. When you force yourself to the limit till you've done it all till you can't do it no more, now God is the only option. Now that's when you do that. So same thing. When you've hold and done all now you want, now for the women, now they want a Christian man. You didn't care about a Christian man then. You was busting it open outside doing everything. It didn't matter. Now you're getting older. Now you ran out of options. Now you want God-fearing man. Now you want a man to be a Christian for you. And now all of a sudden, after you've done everything you want to do, now you want to do the right thing, child. That's just how it goes, you know? And I think people are aware of that, you know? You don't want to, do the right things when you're in your 20s. You don't want to settle down with a good man then and y'all grow and build together because that's boring. That's lame. You want to be outside. You want to use that young body. You don't want to have that young body for a good husband while y'all are both young or whatever and building together. You don't want to just give it to him. You want to give it to everybody you can because you in the name of fun. In the name of fun, I want to try all the D. I want to try all the different sizes. I want to try all what I can. I want to do what I want to do till I can't do it no more. And then you want a man to come settle down with you and be like, oh yeah, I see her worth and she's such a beautiful, and I want to marry her now. That's just how it go. It is what we can't, that's just how it go. Captain K-Man saying, preach thee, their whole life, right? Their whole life, right. Exactly. That's just how it is. And because they know of some women who done lived the whole life and they actually end up getting a husband, they think that it's possible and feasible for all of them to do the same. They're banking on the couple of women that they do know who've had these whole lives and got a husband. They think, oh, okay, so I've seen that happen, so it's okay. It's okay for me to be out here in these streets and do what I want to do, make babies with hoodlums and all of this, and I still will be able to get me a man who's gonna take care of me because such and such got one. You can't even name but a few of them, and they got husbands, so I should be able to do the same thing. And then when you do it and you get older, you realize they're not out here waiting for you. So it's not a guarantee. 87 Stevens says, God said, leave me out of this. I know that's right, 87 Stevens. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. Yeah. They think that it's gonna work that way for them. When it doesn't, they be confused. So yeah, I wouldn't bank on it. It's not the majority. It's most women ain't able to get no wealthy man to take care of them after their whole life and for whole phases and all of this stuff. So I wouldn't bank on it. I wouldn't put any stock in it. It's not the majority. It's a small minority of people who may end up married with everything that they want from a man. The majority of y'all ain't getting that. That's why y'all complaining about it. And that's why y'all here looking. But these men, especially, y'all got to understand, these aren't the men of the 80s and 90s. These ain't stepdaddies. These men are adamant about saying, nah, I'm not taking care of you and your kids. And I'm not buying no house for you and your kids. I'm not doing all that. They're not doing it. So y'all are risking it. But anyway, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, y'all. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you for that. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody who supports the channel, everybody who supports via Super Chat, Cash App, liking the stream. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate everyone who supports and watch and spend this time with me. I appreciate you so much for that. So shout out to y'all. Happy Friday. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, y'all. I'll be back soon. I don't like to say because I usually end up getting into other things, and then I don't do the live, so I don't want to commit to it if I'm not going to be here. But just keep your notification bell turned on. Who knows? I may pop up tomorrow. I may not. I may pop up Sunday, but keep your notifications bell turned on so that you'll be notified when I do come up here, y'all. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, everybody who supports y'all. Make sure you are watching the content that's already posted on the channel, y'all. Go watch the videos, hit the like button, leave a comment to let me know it's real. And let's just keep, getting the views up on the videos that are already posted. All right. So make sure you guys are doing that. Thank y'all once again for being here. I appreciate y'all for the support, the love, all of it. Thank y'all once again for your support. So I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all be blessed. Stay tuned for more, and I will see y'all in the next one. All right. Mwah. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
You laugh and my heart chokes. Like might as everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like a soft little word. Yeah. Every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood. And every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I get you. Yeah, it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get you, more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know I get you. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I get you. Every day, all the way. I get you. You get me in your eyes. That's when I'm free. I get you. More than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do, baby. I don't need a reason. I just know I get you. I get you.